This was Matt Burke.
Oh, I'm going to dump that. So now he doesn't want his name out there.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
Okay, let's just move
Laura,
on then.
it was important that you told me this.
Let's just
Well, yeah.
move on.
I need to
All right,
know
so
this.
last night I went to the Dodger game. Let's go. Bum, ba-dum, bum.
I found out today.
Laura,
just move on. Just move
This
on.
is
Let it
Laura.
go.
Put
Let it
yesterday's business in the streets
Let it-
today again.
let it-
But don't
let
say
it-
who it is.
Funch is
No,
back.
I
Funch
was
is back.
telling-
All right, let's move on. I went to the
Whatever.
Dodger game yesterday with
It's okay. Nobody knows that we said that.
Okay, good.
Nobody knows anything. unless you're what?
knows.
Nobody knows. Funch, are you going to stick around or are you leaving? All
He's
right,
out.
Bye.
He
Get out of
gone.
here.
He's like, I already worked. What
No,
you talking
because I
about?
needed to pick on that dude because I got some issues with him. But
Why?
anyways, how you feeling, Andy?
Feeling good, man. I got my fantasy draft in about 3 hours.
Okay.
I'm going to be doing it actually from here because I don't have time to go anywhere after
Okay.
the show. Our draft begins at 7.
All right, so I got a lot of stuff coming on. I mean, we're going to get into the Dodgers. We're going to get into a little bit of the Lakers stuff and everything else. But I got a lot of issues, a lot of dilemmas going on this week, and it all popped up today. So first day, my daughter went back to school, so she's in 8th grade. So that was like she goes to school in Long Beach. So they're one
It
of the,
took that long?
Yeah, it was good actually. We got to do some stuff. So
Okay.
LAUSD goes earlier. Then, like I said, she goes to school in Long Beach. So today was her first day, and I realized that she's an 8th grader. Some of the conversations that we had with her. Are we on YouTube today? Was there a YouTube component? If there isn't,
There is a YouTube component, I believe.
because if we're not on YouTube, then I'm not gonna open up my computer. I don't need all that. Okay, we are. There we go. All right, so we are in. Oh, what's up? What's up, people on YouTube? How you doing? All right, so you got your fantasy draft, right? You do it online. Who's in this draft?
My brother, some friends of mine from college, some people I met through these friends. This is the league that we've been doing now for about 20 years.
Okay, so it's a real one. So
Yeah.
you guys started back when there was paper.
Yeah.
And somebody had to keep track every single week.
We were online, but it required much more doing to put ourselves online.
All
That's
right.
what I would say.
So you used to, somebody would have to,
Well, put it
on
this
Monday,
way.
figure out what's going on. You had to call in and write in your lineup, right?
This is how I would frame it. Yeah, we did have to write it down, and then the commissioner of our league would have to manually enter it online for us. We've been doing this for so long, I'm pretty sure Keyshawn was on one of my teams. That's how long we've done this.
I know this. So I started fantasy in the 90s, back when my old boss Scott Griffey was like, here's this fantasy football thing. I'm like, I don't even know what fantasy football is, bro, but I'll do it. I remember having Dorsey Levens on my team.
Wow.
Yeah, I think Wayne Corbett was on my team. So we used to turn in the paper on Friday, and, there was no email back then. So you had to turn in the paper. You had to go to him, give him that, and then on Wednesday we'd find out an answer of what's going on. Is there another microphone on in there? I think so, because we hear Matt Burke over here. So, yeah.
He's just loud.
Well, yeah.
He doesn't need a mic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Get outta
he's
here.
just loud.
So that's the fantasy, the evolution of what's going on in fantasy. I know a lot of people having their fantasy drafts this week, so it's good that you have that right there, right? And you used to complain. You're like, no, that guy got another yard, right? Because if you would get the USA Today or the LA Times, that's when newspapers, you still needed them for the stats.
Yeah, I mean, we have not been doing it so long ago that it was like true rotisserie league, somebody with a pencil and eraser and just like an unfathomable amount of math to do. We were doing this in the online age.
Oh, you did the online,
right? But
yes, I've been doing it for like 30 years. Then.
Wow.
I guess it was in the early 90s, 2000s, something like that.
I was actually looking up. Our league, the site that we use. It actually has the history of the league.
Wow.
So I was going back to see if my team name that I was thinking about, which I can't say on air, if it's ever been used before. But because that, I was going through different ones, and I saw that I believe the first year of this league was 2001.
Wow.
Either 2001 or 2000.
So that's when you.
Yeah.
So that was a big controversy in my league. We're going to do our draft on Sunday. Is like, which server do we use? And we had to vote on that. That's very important,
You
too.
know what's funny, actually, is the majority of our league wanted to switch. We're currently on CBS Sportsline. The majority of our league wanted to switch to either ESPN or Yahoo, which the consensus was better than CBS. But two guys in the league decided that they preferred to stay with CBS. And CBS, at least at the time, I don't know if it's still the case, they were the only ones that charged. They wanted to be with CBS so badly, they said, we will pay the fees just to keep us on CBS. It was like, damn, dude.
So in our league, we had a discussion of either ESPN or Yahoo. The votes were split, 6-6. The tiebreaker was the Women's World Cup final. So England got one. I mean, whatever team, Spain got one team, and whoever they play got the other team. So this is what was going on. And this is how degenerate a league that I'm in. And this is just my friend. We all vote. We all draft in person. This is an in-person draft because the trash talking has to get going. And we only see each other once a year. So there's even the WhatsApp is going on crazy. And we invited some people that didn't know what WhatsApp was, and they've now had to download it, and they really shouldn't have, because you can send WhatsApp stickers, and your kids get your phone, and you shouldn't be having that good stuff. Anyway, so that's what is going on. Yesterday went to the Dodger game. Let's just say that when you go to a Dodger game right now, there's a vibe. There's an energy at the stadium.
Good vibe?
Oh, fantastic vibe. I realized maybe it was the heat wave yesterday. And yes, I am inside the studio today because of air conditioning. I volunteer to work.
Dude, you were here all day. Like I said, you were the radio equivalent of a squatter.
I really was. Yesterday, so the reason,
hopping show to show just to take advantage of the AC.
And because it was too. So here's the thing. In the studio, it's colder than in the back in our bullpen area. So I came over here. So yesterday I hosted a workout for Golden Boy promotion. We have a fight coming up next week and in 2 weeks from now. And it was a media workout here in downtown LA. So I had to be here. I'm like, but then they changed the time on me. So I came into the studio early for the AC because I didn't want to just be waiting around. So let me just infiltrate Travis Sliwa. I took over that show for about an hour, right? No problem. Then I went and did the work, came back, and Jorge Briones, who I took to the Dodger game, he still had 3 hours of work to go. So I went and hung out with Mason in Ireland because of the AC. And then Jorge wasn't done working, so
spent a little time with me and CY.
I spent some time with you and CY. I became the man manning the YouTube chat, and I was trying to filter some people out of there, man.
Well, you also at that point you justify asking for parking. you did some work that day. Getting a validation.
Oh man!
You put in work.
Funny.
You put in the equivalent work of a show.
Yeah.
You essentially did like three cumulative hours yesterday.
You're right. I did do 3 hours yesterday, which should be
gratis, by the way.
There ain't no gratis in Duran Sports. There is no gratis at all.
You're gonna invoice for yesterday?
Heck yeah, I'm gonna invoice.
Wow, that is bold.
Because you just told me that I did 3 hours.
You did do about 3 total hours.
So I did an hour with Travis. Mason in Ireland, I do half hour. That feels like an hour. I did an hour with you, almost an hour with you guys.
I think you did more, actually, in the show.
You know what?
Do something for me. When you invoice producer Greg, will you just give me a heads up? Because I just want to be there when Greg sees this invoice.
Well, I worked a lot in August, so I think I could slip it in.
Okay.
You know what? What
That's
was
funny.
yesterday's date?
August
The 29th. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on my invoice. 829 invoice. I'm writing that down right now.
You could just invoice it as the Money Mesa.
Should I do it, though?
It's a bold move.
You shouldn't, because you said you were unavailable to work yesterday, which is why
I was unavailable to work this show 4 to 7, Lindsay.
Okay. But okay.
You hey, unavailable.
Actually, you were scheduled to work the show, and then you changed it.
Yeah, because I had to work that media workout.
Okay, you know what's funny? Years ago, Beto, you remember this because when you and I first met.
The circle says invoice.
I'm sure the circle says invoice. This is one of those times where the circle is going to tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Laura, when you do the podcast for tomorrow, make sure you delete this segment right here. Greg can't
For
hear
today.
this.
Yeah, is this Laura? Dump all this.
Yeah,
just
dump
dump the whole
the
thing.
first 20 minutes.
This segment.
Lindsay, you and I'll give you a cut, Linz.
Okay.
Lindsay knows when we get paid. She's like, it's not that much. But when I was doing,
We can't even afford that.
When Brian and I were doing the LA Times Lakers blog, we were, the thing that we had set up for ourselves, we were given an in-season rate and an off-season rate.
Okay.
Like that's what the setup was when they first hired us. But then we came to realize with the Lakers, particularly like during Kobe's prime, there's no such thing as an off-season.
No.
Like there is no real off-season for the Lakers when it comes to covering them. So one day we just said, you know what, let's invoice the on-season rate. This was like, I don't know, July. Like, let's just go in-season, see what happens. And because the LA Times was so unorganized, nobody said a thing. We just gave ourselves a unilateral raise.
You know what?
It's a bold move.
It was bold.
Hey.
And paid off.
If they pay it, they pay it.
Right. It's the way we figured it. But, I mean, because we figured, we're doing the work. You know what? We might have decided this. We may have decided this the summer of Kobe's trade request.
Oh, well, you were working every single day that day.
I mean, we were working our asses off.
Yeah, you were working in Chicago. You were working in New York. You were working everywhere.
There really is no off season for this. And then, the next season they go to the finals. The next season they win the championship. There's no off season with the Lakers. We're like, why are we invoicing like half the amount? We're doing the same amount of work.
Yeah, you should.
Unilateral raise.
You've earned it. You've earned it. And as a guy who has a bunch of different salaries with a bunch of different people, sometimes I forget that this company pays me this company pays me that. If somebody somehow forgets that I'm only worth that and they pay me double, then who am I to say no? Because then they have to go cancel the check.
Right.
And then they have to go reissue a check.
Paperwork.
I'm thinking of you here.
Exactly.
I'm thinking of you here. All right, coming up, I'm going to tell you about my experience going to the Dodger game yesterday, why they feel special this season, why Briones might be willing to get traded to another show. All that and more. Beto Duran, Andy Kamenetsky in for Sedano and Kap. We're here till 7 o'clock on 710 ESPN. But Saturday, this is where you want to go. You want to go check out SC take on the Nevada Wolfpack. The Trojans took care of San Jose State. Now it's time for Nevada as they come to the Coliseum on Saturday. Listen for your chance to win a family 4-pack to USC in Nevada from 710 ESPN.
The Morales Summer
Sedano and Kap, Beto Duran, Andy Kamenetsky, and you on 710 ESPN. Yesterday, Andy, you saw me when you were working with Clinton Yates on my way to the Dodger game. Took Jorge Briones.
Nice.
All right. And Lindsay, are you there?
Yes.
Yes, you are. And I'm going to bring in Lindsay right now because before we get to my experiences at the Dodger game yesterday, how George, as I kept calling
Big
him,
win.
Big win, going around, had a good time. We saw the team just on fire, right? Kershaw, everybody, home runs, good times. But, Lindsay, I'm going to bring up what we talked about this afternoon. Is that all right?
Sure.
All right. So, Lindsay Baseball, I consider her a friend. Not just a work friend, but a friend. Her and I.
She's no Morales.
Exactly. So her and I have talked about going to a Dodger game. And Lindsay's like a big baseball fan. We're good. We always talk about this and that. Our Gardos, we talk about who's on that team. We have we're there. So Lindsay, I call her today, a little show prep, and she's like, how come you never take me to a Dodger game? My answer, Lindsay, your show's till 7. Right? Am I okay with that?
But not
okay
every
with
day. Yeah. But I
Okay.
said not every day. Sometimes we get off at 6:30.
Okay.
Also, there's other days where,
Okay. All right. Let's just go with the you get off at 7, Lindsay. all right?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right? She said we could get there quick. And exactly my reaction.
No.
I told Lindsay,
No.
Wait, don't lie. I did not say we can get there quick. I said it would probably take me like an hour to get there. and I
no,
would
you
be
did not
late.
say an hour.
I literally said,
I said
the
an hour.
last time I went to a game after the show, it was at 7 o'clock. You can
Uh-huh.
ask Briones and Mason. I got there by 8 o'clock. So that was the 7 o'clock show. I got there by 8 o'clock.
So I misunderstood what you said then. All right, I apologize for that part. I thought you said quick.
No.
Like
I said I could get there soon enough.
Depends on how you define soon enough.
right?
Problem, though, with that, Lindsay, is, if it's a 7:10 pitch, you get there by 8. The way there's the new baseball rules and they're speeding up the game, you're not there
You're
until like
right,
the
but
6th inning.
You're right, but I did say we'll do it on a day where I get off at 6:30. I could get in there by 7:30, and I'd be fine.
6:30. Could you leave downtown LA Live, and get to Dodger Stadium by 7:30, Kamenetsky?
That's tough.
Uber.
Now, here's the thing. Right now, the way the Dodgers are going, there's 40-plus every single night.
Yeah.
There was 44,000 yesterday. That was the announced attendance. Mind you, on a bobblehead night. And it's also, I was telling Lindsay this, it's a Tuesday night or Wednesday night, whatever it is. Kids are back in school, and there's still a lot of people. That's why I went early with Briones, because we had movers and shakers. We had people to meet there. But if you're giving tickets at 6:30, Andy, and you're in downtown for a 7 o'clock game, you going?
That's tough. I don't think I can make. That's rush hour on top of Dodger Stadium traffic.
Yes.
Now, are there still ever any 7:40 first pitches?
No,
Like, remember they used to do
What
that?
year, what was this? Get to this century, guy.
Those were awful if you were covering, but if you were working, they were terrible. But for these purposes, 7:40 could be useful.
No. It's a 7:10 first pitch.
Okay.
So I gave you a ticket. Say, hey, 6:30. Can you get to the 7 o'clock game? Mind you, you're gonna miss the first pitch. Would you even consider it?
I mean, how many people really make it there in time for the first pitch
But
anyway?
well, that's a good point though. Everybody brought up. Now that the game has been sped up, by the time you get into your seat,
That's my concern. It's not that I'm missing the first pitch. I'm worried I'm going to miss like the first 3 innings.
Yeah.
Yep.
it used to be no problem. We'll be there. But now,
You know what you need to do to make this happen, guys, is you pick one day where Lindsay and another producer switch shows. And that's the day that Beto.
because then Mason and Ireland don't want her.
That's not true. Okay.
Dang.
Come on, I'm saying what everybody's
I do
thinking.
their show. I feel
I didn't say that or thought that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that would be the way you do this.
Oh.
Is a one-day swap. Or Lindsay, you get there in the morning. Switch with Emily.
Lindsay Baseball.
Switch with Emily.
Lindsay Baseball. I got
I've
it.
switched with Greg plenty of times.
Lindsay
This is
Baseball.
not that big of a deal.
I got this. Mason wants to go to a Dodger game with me. We agreed that September 12th, we're going to go see the Dodgers on a Tuesday, I believe. Mason and Ireland have their show. Mason's going with me after it. Let's go, Linz. Tuesday.
You want me to take the day off?
No, switch with somebody.
Oh, okay. I'll
That's
switch with
Greg.
Greg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
switch.
Greg will switch.
Linz. Let's go. And I'm going to pull a Mason because the day he stiffed me and he just left me hanging, now I'm going to bring Lindsay as my +1.
Oh!
Yes.
Turning the tables.
Yes. Linz?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm down.
There we go. That's it. And Mason can't back out now, right? And if he
Mason isn't usually the one to back out, though, is he?
but if he backs out, it doesn't matter. You and I are going.
Okay.
There we go. All
But wait,
Mace,
but
we
wait.
need 4 tickets.
I was gonna say, wait, if he doesn't back out, do I still get to go?
Yeah, you're going no
Okay.
matter what.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna pull a Cappy and say, hey, King, can I get another ticket?
I still think Cappy is ducking Mace. I think that is the reason Cappy hasn't been here. He's known for a few weeks that he was eventually going to do this to Mace, and he has just been ducking the guy. Cappy has basically not been here in the month of August.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a coincidence.
You don't think so?
I think he is 100% ducking Mace.
Come on, man. You know he has no remorse.
I didn't say he had remorse. I just don't think he wants...
He don't want that smoke?
He doesn't want the smoke. He doesn't want the confrontation. I think he's thinking... I stay out of this studio long enough. I skip my own show long enough. Eventually, we'll have moved on to something else.
Yeah, and some people go on the weekend. I don't do weekends, man. Weekends with kids and soccer and stuff, there's no chance I'll go to I don't go anywhere on weekends. I don't play golf. I don't play anything else.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do like work-related things on a weekend.
Exactly.
Unless it's something like really big, like the softball game or the Mandy's.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly. But so yeah, yesterday, dude, it was a vibe, Andy. We walk in there. I take Briones, right? Have him jump in the truck. We go. Like, George, boom, we're going here. Like, hey, how's the day at work? Cool. He's telling me about Travis. He's telling me about working on Sedano. He's telling me about working with Ireland. And he's, like, telling everything there. So, George, I call him George because I've known him forever. So, I'm going to call him George. Everybody calls him Jorge, but I don't even know who that guy is. But Briones is telling me some tea on all the shows in a good way, you know, like he ranked his people where it's at.
Ranked them.
He ranked them. I'm not going to put his business out there, but let's just say that, hey, you know, he likes where he's at. He really likes where he's at.
Well,
right
he and Travis have history, so that helps. Like good history. They work together on the morning show, so that is an easy transition for Jorge to undertake because you know he spent years working with Travis and Key and LZ.
Okay.
So that makes the transition easier.
Yeah.
Happy where he is. You know what? He's also, though, he's kind of accomplished everything he can with Mason and Ireland. Like, he's crushed the Mandy's every year. He's got all the hardware. What more is there left for Briones to accomplish with Mason and Ireland? You might as well move on to a new show, take it up to your level with Mason and Ireland, and then eventually he moves on somewhere else.
Yeah, so Briones was good about that. So I had tickets yesterday. So my boy Hector Galvan hooked me up. Fantastic tickets. Second row, right next to the dugout. We had the right field. We had that baseline club, food extraordinaire. Briones, we walk in. I'm like, we even had the parking. My man Hector hooked us up with parking. He's like, Beto, I've never parked this close. Usually they send those like George. Come on, let me show you how the other half lives here. Come on, guy.
Wow.
When I got those tickets, I immediately asked Bergman in the morning because Bergman's been in those seats with me before, so he knows how to behave. Then I asked Mason. Mason said, I was like, Mace, you want to hit the Dodger game? Yes. Like, okay, do you want to meet at the station or go there together? Can't go tonight. Typical Mace, right? Then I was like, okay, who do I know that's in downtown already? Because I only have one ticket. Yeah, that can go. I saw Briones here in the studio. Let's go. So Briones went. Great. Get there. We go to the baseline club. He's like, how much is this? It's free. Just, I took him where the salads are at. He's like, oh, cool, salad. Like, no, over here's the steak. Here's the conversation. Here's this and that. He had a good time.
Carving station.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh la la.
I show my guy around. If you go with me, I show him around, man. We had a good time. So he was there. I was like, hey, there's ice cream. He's like, hey, what about the hot dogs? Yeah, the Dodger dogs are free. Whatever you want. All the peanuts. We take everything. So I bought him a couple of drinks. He had his Paloma, which, by the way, we're going to get into the drinks later on. But we had a good time. We sit there, and you know when you know that feeling when you know you're not sneaking into the good seats? You've done this many times, right? You stuck into the good seats, right? And you're waiting for somebody to tap you on the shoulder. Have you ever done when you're
Well,
walking?
it's the imposter syndrome. Like, you literally know in this case, I am an imposter representing that I have tickets
This is
for this
all I
section.
ever do is that.
In Dodger Stadium, it's so easy to do. Get the $6 ticket and come down.
Yeah, that's my thing. I usually buy the $6 ticket and I go and sneak in, but I usually sneak to about the middle of the section, like row N.
Well, you start thinking about, okay, how far can I push this?
Yeah, I'm not going where the rope is at.
Before anybody cares. Like, how far can I get myself down towards the field before some usher actually might care?
Right. So you see the rope and you see the usher. Let me go 10 rows back. And you sneak in, you sit down there, and you usually wait to the fourth, fifth inning because season ticket holders show up or there. They might be eating at the baseline club.
I mean, by then, too, the ushers have essentially done their jobs getting people towards seats. They're not keeping track of everybody who's coming and going.
But they know what's going on.
Right.
No. I told Briones, puff your chest out, my man. Follow me. We see the rope. I didn't even show the ticket. I just lifted my hand a little bit. Oh, yeah. They lift the roll. Oh,
Wow.
come on. That's exactly what Briones said. Wow, they're not going to stop us. No, they're not going to stop us.
Were there like trumpets playing in the background?
Timmy Trumpet was ready to go.
Wow.
I'm like, see that? That's where we're going. And you know that scene in Born East L.A. when Cheech comes across
God,
and he's bringing everybody with him?
So long.
That was me and Briones. I'm like, come on, Briones, I'm bringing you with me. Let's go.
At that point, you were
Mind you, we had a bobblehead in our hand, too. He was all excited about the bobblehead.
You were Tio Beto at this point.
Oh.
You were truly Tio Beto.
I am Theo. I am Godfather. I am the one. And Briones was like, hey, I've never been this close. I was like, I know, mijo.
You know what you were? Padrone. You're El Padrone.
I had him ready to go. Sit down. We sit second row. He's like, hey, that's the dugout. I was like, yeah, that's the dugout right there. Hey, they're this close. First thing he says, whoa, Kershaw's big. Kershaw was warming up, and we saw Kershaw deal. Kershaw was on fire. I mean, he was struggling, but he's still on fire. But when you're that close, you haven't seen him. Freddie Freeman, huge dude. Briones, you know, usually when you go to games, you walk around, you find different seats. Briones just sat there the entire time like a buen niño. He knows how to behave, had a good time. Like, he's like, there's a menu. Like, yeah, there's a menu. Order whatever you want. Order whatever you want.
Like this was like him. I think it feels like from Jorge's perspective.
Yeah.
This was like he was going to a game with a mafia don or something like that.
Pretty much.
Like you're like, oh, it's all on the arm, kid. It's all on the arm.
We got it. And he's like, hey, you want a drink? He's like, don't worry about it. We got it. We got it here. Mind you, got to pay for the booze, but he didn't know that. So I was like, hey, we got this. We got this. Had the bobblehead.
Now, did you pay for it in cash in a roll, like in a gangster roll?
No, but the guy next to me did.
Nice. That's what I'm saying. You guys were in the Mafia Don section.
Exactly. There's a couple older gentlemen next to us who were complaining about Kershaw's pitch count and he wasn't throwing strikes. And Bruno's like, they're really watching the game. I'm like, yes. When you're down low, you watch the game. When you're in left field pavilion bar partying, nah, you ain't watching no game.
Different,
right there.
different
Different world, man.
Yep.
You know, it's the way to do it. I don't know. But I ruined it for Briones. You can't go back with the
Okay, I was going to say we should actually have Briones on to like talk about like how changed of a man he is.
So
at this
Briones,
point.
I told him, I was like, hey, wait a couple innings to start taking the pictures. Right? Wait to start using your phone. You don't want to be the guy that shows up right away and uses the phone right away. You wait a little bit. Act like you've been there before. Then he started taking pictures. He started sending it to Mason. Started texting to Travis. And he's like, Travis isn't answering. You know, it's later. I'm like, I'll text Travis right now. I'll text him right now.
Don't be a tourist, Jorge.
Exactly. I was like, I'll text him. And Travis says, sweet seats. Then there's a guy that sits behind us that went to high school with Travis and was like, oh, Travis doesn't give money back to Arcadia High School. Jorge's like, oh, let me know. I'll tell him tomorrow on the show. All of a sudden, Jorge became very comfortable. All right, seventh inning stretch, I became that guy. You know, I have a tendency to be loud, and, you know, I know how I get, right? I know how I am. Seventh inning stretch, I'm like, George, look up. You know that Dodger sign high above the stadium, way up on top where my cousin Pepe has season tickets? I'm like, Briones, look up. We started up there. I was like, see those people? The commoners. Stay with me, kid. I'm never sending you back,
It's
Jorge.
the reverse of started at the bottom. You actually, in this particular case, it started at the top. Now look at us.
I was just being a smart aleck saying the commoners, right? Or he's like, yeah, the commoners.
Again,
he bought in.
You created, over the course of 9 innings,
Yeah.
you created a monster.
I literally was expecting Briones to come in today with hair slicked back, you know, in a 3-piece suit.
Pinky ring.
Yeah, I was expecting him to come dressed like Morales. Okay, live imaging Briones.
Exactly.
Live
Started at
imaging
the top,
Briones.
now we're here.
Oh, yeah. And then he sent me a nice text afterwards. Thank you so much. We had a great time. Thanks to my man Hector Galvan for hooking us up. But, you know, I was like, Briones was just happy that we had good parking. He was like, this is the way to do it. Mind you, this doesn't happen all the time for me. Normally I'm buying the $6 ticket.
What this does is it just reinforces to you how much you normally spend when you do this.
Oh, my goodness. Because I know the wheels were his head. The hamster was moving. When we took the peanuts, we took the hot dogs, he had that tentative, like,
You're doing inventory.
oh, maybe. More on that on Briones' night. The Dodgers, I got to figure out my drink for the golf tournament.
Okay.
I got to figure out if I'm kicking somebody out of my foursome. I got to figure out something that I need to do at my fantasy. There's a lot of stuff going on here, Andy Kamenetsky. We got a lot of things going on, and we're running out of time here. All right. You know what? What we got to do, though, is go to Hollywood Park Casino. That's what you have to do. The 10th annual SoCal Hyundai ESPN LA Golf Classic is presented by Coors Light and Hollywood Park Casino next Friday at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. Special thanks to our partners Islands, Lava Craft Cocktail Mixers, and En Vogue.
Dog on 710 ESPN.
And that's what the Dodgers are doing. Win, win, win. Sedano Kap, Beto Duran, and Andy Kamenetsky here till 7 o'clock. And they go down. So we're talking about how I went to the Dodger game yesterday. Second row. And I'm not bragging. I'm just bragging.
A little bit of bragging.
Because,
a little bit.
This is, you know what was really cool about that was being able to take somebody like Briones who hadn't been there.
Right, who works his ass off and is a great guy.
And that's it. And just knowing, like, I knew taking because I've taken Bergman in seats before, and he appreciated it, loved it. Mason, I just wanted to sit there and watch a game with him. Travis wanted to watch a game with him and, like, pick their brains about baseball because the Dodgers are doing so well. And yesterday when Briones sat down, like, wow, Freddie Freeman's big. Like, yeah, he is. Because then I forgot he hasn't been on the field with a credential like we have to. This is what we take for granted at times, I think, where we forget that we have access to these guys, and that when you see Freddie Freeman, who's like 6'5", whatever it is.
The example that I've always given with this is covering Kobe for 10 years.
Yeah.
It only took like a season, maybe two, before Kobe didn't seem that big to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's almost a foot taller than me.
Yeah.
But after a while, like 6'6" didn't seem that big. Like Derek Fisher, who was at least 3-4 inches taller than me. Derek Fisher felt like he was my height. Kobe felt like tall, but not like, it started becoming like you needed to be Powell or Bynum or Shaq, Yao, before I'd be like, damn, that dude's
Did you ever get
big.
around Yao Ming?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. That's a mountain of man.
I never got used to how big Shaq was.
Yeah.
I never got used to it.
No.
But, like, seriously, like Kobe, who was 6'6", like that is by any normal standard really tall. after a while, Kobe didn't seem that tall to me.
It's funny. I ran into Sean Farnham on Sunday coming back from
Another tall guy.
Yeah, 6'7", I think, 6'7", 6'8". ESPN college basketball analyst. He was in line because we had a connecting flight in Dallas. He was coming from Dallas. By the way, congratulations to him. His daughter Morgan has committed to play soccer at Rutgers.
Oh, cool.
So she's a goalie. Goes to Notre Dame High. She's committed to go to Rutgers. So congratulations.
Yeah, Sean's good people.
Yeah, to Morgan. I see him in line. I'm like, damn, that guy's tall. And I'm like, that's Farnham, 6'7". Back to your point. We see 6'6", and we're like, 6'7", nah. But when you see those people that are that tall in normal public,
right.
Like, wow,
well, that's
tall.
part of it. It's like, I'm seeing Kobe and all these other Lakers around other really tall people. After a while, that sort of just becomes the baseline.
Exactly. It just becomes that right there. So when listening to Breonna talk about it, like Freddie looks huge. Jason Hayward looks huge. Mookie comes around and is dirty by the second inning. Doesn't look huge.
Well, he's not huge.
No. 5'10"-ish, maybe.
He's cut. Like, he's in really great shape, but he's not big at all.
And this Dodger team yesterday, when we sat down, by the time we had our first drink sent to us, homer, they're up there, this and that. And it was just like, this was so much fun. I haven't been to a Dodger game in a long time as a fan where you just knew that they were going to steamroll somebody. They were going to beat them. Because that's what the energy's been like the last couple of months. And the last couple of months I've gone on a credential, so you're working and you kind of feel something. But when you sit in the crowd with a team like this, that's easier to root for. Not that the other teams from previous years weren't, but because they had so many stars, they had every expectation where they're going to be in the World Series, pencil them in, that's fine. This year, and I always go back to it, nobody picked them to win the West.
No.
If they were a wild card team, it would be a good year. Now, this Diamondback squad, who's fighting for a playoff spot, is 13 and a half games out. They have won 13 of 15 coming in, and they get rolled.
Look, it's a lot of fun when they surpass the expectations. Like this year, people expected this team to be good. Like they had too much talent to be bad.
Yes.
But the expectation, I know it was mine, was this would be the rare year the Dodgers don't win the NL West. Like I still thought, they could be good, they could be a playoff team, but they're not going to roll the way they typically do. What has become clear is just they own this division.
Dude.
Like they own. They're not renting. They're not leasing. They own the damn division. And it doesn't seem to matter who else is out there, who else is on whatever team. And this year, like, collectively, they've outperformed the sum of their parts. But I think it's also, too, Kershaw and Mookie and Freeman, like the three biggest names on this team, those three guys have been great all year.
The studs are doing it. And yesterday, you had the studs performing. But then Ahmed Rosario comes in later on in the game. And the Dodgers are rolling, so they took out their starters like in the sixth inning. And Rosario comes in, makes a fantastic play. Nice play. And again, from Breonna's eye. It felt like Breonna's was like an 8-year-old kid. Like, wow. It's like, he made that look easy. And he did. Like, Ahmed Rosario, who was having a terrible year in Cleveland, shows up. And I'm like, why this guy? His defense sucks. We know he can hit his defense. He's making plays for him. Every single move that they're making is paying off. And you have, Tyson Miller came in yesterday, who was DFA'd by the Dodgers, let go by the Mets, and then he comes back for the Dodgers' second stint, and he's pitching well.
Dude, arguably the best move of the entire trade deadline was the Dodgers getting Lance Lynn. Mm-hmm. Lance Lynn had not been good in the White Sox. Honestly, when I saw that the Dodgers traded for Lance Lynn, my first reaction was, wait, that Lance Lynn?
Yeah, why?
I was like, he's still in the league?
Lance Lynn.
But, like, you think about guys like him or Rosario or some of these other guys they've brought in, if you are on a bad team in baseball, I think it's worse than being in any other sport on a bad team because baseball's the longest season, it's the hottest season, and if you are on a bad team in the Midwest, like in July, like as somebody who grew up in the Midwest, it's brutal. And like, the Cardinals went on a fire sale. St. Louis is a great baseball town. Like they truly love.
Yeah, they tell
Cardinals.
us they're a great baseball town.
I know, they're arrogant as hell about it, but it is a legitimately great baseball
yes, it
town.
Is.
They love it. But I'm sorry, there is no amount of love that the city can project onto you that doesn't make you forget we are 17 games below 500 and it's 110 degrees out at 8:30 at night. It's brutal.
And for everybody's like, oh, well, they don't have any pitching right now. They're going to lose to this team. They're going to lose to that team in the play. Well, the playoffs or whatever. I'm just talking about right now. If you still can, an opportunity to go and check out a Dodger game. And I'm not, again, I don't work for them. I'm not trying to sell tickets for anything like that. Just go. And I'm not, you know me, I'm the most cynical, bitter guy when it comes to stuff like this, the nostalgia stuff when it comes to this. Something feels special at Dodger Stadium right now. Yeah, they're winning, but when you walk in, and this is what I noticed, and I told Brianna yesterday, like, fans are getting here even earlier.
Well,
Mind you, it's a bobblehead night, but they're getting there earlier. And I noticed that a couple weeks ago when I went with Bergman. I noticed a couple weeks ago when I took my son. Like, there's something here.
Well, this is why it's believable when Dave Roberts said a few weeks ago that this is his favorite team he's managed with the Dodgers. They're not the best team he's managed, not like by a long shot. But I can understand why this is his favorite. Like, this is the team that has endeared themselves the most to Roberts.
Yeah.
It's believable.
I can see it. I can definitely see that. That's Anthony Kamenetsky. I'm Beto Duran. We're in for Sedano and Kap till 7 o'clock. Still to come. I got to figure out who to kick out of my golf foursome, maybe? And I got to figure out if I'm going to sell Messi tickets or not. All that and more on 710 ESPN.
RDCAM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
710 ESPN.
A Good Karma Brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
Oh, take it away, producer Lindsay.
Well, aren't you forgetting something? Oh, you don't have your computer open, do you?
Oh, yeah, I can do it. Hang on one
Thanks,
second.
Andy.
What you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino and Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Lindsay.
Thanks, Andy. Don't want to shortchange our good friends at Morongo.
No, absolutely not.
Great steakhouse there.
All right, so
It is good. It's really
tonight we've got an astronomical phenomenon going on. Have you guys heard about this?
No, what do you got?
It's the blue supermoon.
Blue moon.
Yeah,
You
so-
saw me standing alone without a dream. Laura's still singing, so I got to do this with her.
Kind of. Well, Laura's not singing on mic, so I can't hear. Laura, you got to turn your mic on if you're going to sing along.
Oh,
you know?
She was in the zone.
She's like, no.
All right, so what's up? What's up?
Okay, so it's a blue supermoon is when it's the second full moon of the calendar month reaches its full moon phase at its closest point to Earth. So basically, there's only one of these every 2 to 3 years, or there's only a blue moon every 2 to 3 years, but there's only a blue supermoon every 20 years.
Okay.
So the next blue supermoon is not expected until 2037. So tonight, when you go outside, you're gonna see a gigantic blue supermoon. So again, the supermoon is when it's closest. The moon is at its closest point to the Earth while it's full, and then the blue phenomenon adds a whole other layer of intrigue to it. So I guess just look up at the moon tonight 'cause it's supposed to look really cool.
Nice. So we'll be looking up pretty cool. We get out of here at 7 o'clock when I look up and I'll see the blue moon.
I'll have to look at pictures on social. I'll be drafting.
Oh, you'll be drafting. The Marcel's singing it.
Oh,
out for
you can peek outside the window when you're drafting.
You're staying here to
Well,
draft?
I am picking 12th out of 12, so I will have a lot of downtime after the snake
It's a
draft
snake
rolls.
draft.
It is a snake draft.
You know, I did my auction draft on Sunday. Man. Okay, so this is the second
How many
year
leagues
we've-
are you in, Lynn?
I'm only in one because
Okay.
my brother's is like an expensive league. And honestly, so I came in second last year, and it's so expensive that I was like, just roll it over to next year. Roll over my part of my winnings to next year because it's like $475.
Whoa.
And I won, like-
Wait, the winnings or the dues?
No, the dues.
Whoa.
So I won.
That's a lot?
That's a baller league.
Oh, is it?
Well, I mean, it's
What's yours?
Some people it is, some people it's not. I don't know. For me, I feel like $500 for a fantasy league is a lot of money, but it's
I
only
think that's
one
on the
league.
high end.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah, he has a lot of friends that have
Y'all
dropped out
ballin'.
because we keep
Yeah.
increasing the price.
I'm not.
Well, we know.
I don't think I'd still because it's gone up the past 2 years. I don't
It
think
just
I'd
means
still
the
be
payout is good.
Sure,
right.
look,
Exactly,
I-
and we
I'm-
also have a lot
Hey,
of ways to
scared
win.
money don't make money, homie.
It's not unheard of, these type of dues,
Oh, yeah.
but that's on the high side. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Wait,
it's on the
well,
high side.
Do you play the Super Bowl squares that are expensive?
It's been a minute, but yeah.
You don't get like the $1,000 ones?
No.
No, who
Damn, just
$1,000
me, huh?
for Super Bowl
Wow.
squares? That's a lot.
Well, your 1099s are adding up.
Oh,
Yeah,
I have
really,
no
Beto.
Yes, sir. Come on now. Damn,
You hit on one of those and you're good.
Exactly. No, we're good.
But so I will say with my brother's league, we have a lot of ways you can win.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we
exactly.
have teasers every week. So even if your team sucks by like I don't know, week 10, you can still win because they'll do like different teasers that we said at the beginning, like most points by a running back
Yeah.
for the week and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ways to win money. But we did our auction league on Sunday night. Dude, that took like 4.5 hours. That's way too
That's
long.
way too long. No, we're doing
Way
ours
too
on
long.
Sunday. So our fantasy draft for my guys is on Sunday. We're doing it in person. Have the Mighty Schools coming out there. We're having a good old time. So check this out, Lance. Here's a question I got to ask for you guys. So we're doing our draft a little bit earlier because some of the guys in the draft are LAFC season ticket holders. And on Sunday, LAFC takes on Messi, right?
It's also the Sunday night before Labor Day, which is why we didn't do it this Sunday.
Oh, well, we always do it on that time because, but some of these guys are LAFC season ticket holders, so they're leaving early. So we moved our draft up a little bit earlier for this to happen, right? But in our group chat in the WhatsApp, we've been telling guys every single day the update of how much their tickets are worth right now. Andy, if you're an LAFC season ticket holder and your one ticket can be sold for $825, do you do it?
Your one ticket to
One
see Messi.
ticket, and he has two.
Look, can I ask a question?
Yes.
If he were to sell the pair of tickets, how many games would that pay for in the package of season tickets?
It gets close to what I think he paid for season tickets.
Okay, well, if it covers the whole season, I would sell them, but otherwise, I would want to see that. Because if you're an LAFC fan and you have season tickets, you want to
Okay.
be there.
So now in our group chat, there's people who are like, there's a couple guys. One of them is the most hardcore LAFC fan who will not sell it, and his seats are even better. They're closer to the field. His look like they're about 1,500, but the other guys have them around the 800s for one ticket.
If you are that big of an LAFC fan, that means you are that big of a soccer fan, which means to you the opportunity to see Messi live. I think it's worth eating the ticket money. Don't sell it. Okay. Like you're paying for the experience.
Yeah. Well, every single day I send them how much the prices are for that day.
I get it.
And my answer is always sell.
I get it.
Can we pressure this guy into selling?
No, don't do that.
What's the point of having friends? What's the point of having a group chat? You want us to be nice to each other? Come on. No. Do you not know me?
Yes, I kind of do.
What am I going to do? Be nice? No.
I will say, Beto, you could probably convince him if you're like, okay, so I understand the appeal with seeing Messi, and I know that it's a huge deal, but at the end of the day, you're an LAFC fan. Because I can compare this to in 2016 when the Indians went to the World Series and faced the Cubs.
Cleveland alert, there we go.
Cleveland alert,
but
yep, haven't done one in a while.
But that's the playoffs, though.
You're right, and I wanted to go to see my team win. It wasn't just to see a certain player. And it's not the playoffs, and like you said, they're gonna face Messi again. So I don't know. Maybe
it's the first time,
right? But it's the hype, though. So maybe you just sell them, and then you use that money to because by the second time they come around or they face him, it's not as big of a deal.
Quick question though. Isn't there, and I am not somebody who follows LAFC or soccer heavily, so maybe this is a dumb question, but I have heard before, isn't there a chance that he may not play in all the games?
That's what I've been saying.
There's a chance he may not play in all of them.
Correct. If he does play, he's been coming off the bench, and because Argentina has some qualifiers coming up, there's been talk that maybe he might not play,
then you sell.
And if he does, he might play 10 minutes. Right, he's not playing 90 minutes. So this is what I've been going, and our group chat. There's 6 of us in there. We go back and forth, and our one hardcore friend is like, no. The other friend is like, really? That article said what? How much? Because when he played in New York the other day against the Red Bulls, he played a few minutes and he scored again. But some of the fans were complaining that they sold him, but then you had too many.
Like if you had to guess, how many minutes do you think he's actually going to play?
Let's just say he plays 10. Just hypothetically, he plays 10.
10 minutes of a total 90?
Correct.
Oh, I might think about selling it. I might think about selling at that point. I'm picturing Messi on the field for
He's not playing the whole game. There's no chance he plays the whole game.
Would he play even half?
He hasn't been.
I'm thinking at that point I'm selling.
Yeah?
I mean, look, that would be the equivalent of, I don't know, paying top dollar to see Guns N' Roses in their prime, but Axl's only going to be out there for 10 minutes of the hour-long show or 2-hour-long show. I know it's Guns N' Roses on the Appetite for Destruction tour, but he's out there 10 minutes and you could get 5 times face value.
Well, I think because you said it yourself, you're not a huge LAFC person, you're not a huge fan. I'm not either, even though I do love the vibe of that stadium. But people that are soccer fans and LAFC fans, it's a whole different thing.
Yeah, the soccer culture is different.
It's
but
so
at the
different.
same time, Andy, right now the cheapest ticket I found on one of these apps is $735. Let's just say your season tickets you can get $1,500 for, as some of these areas have, and you're a hardcore fan.
If you're that hardcore of a fan, then I think even seeing 10 minutes of Messi would feel like a bucket list type of thing.
That part. Mm-hmm.
But you got to be really hardcore.
Damn you, Beto, why are you talking about me? Leave this out of it. You know I don't listen to your
this
station.
This whole show's going to be dumped. We're going to end up dumping this whole show.
No, because he's not saying names. But
wait, I'm going to challenge what you said, though, Andy, because if you're that big of a fan, you're an LAFC fan, and when the season started, you probably didn't think in a million years that LAFC was going to have a chance to even face Messi, so you bought those tickets, the season tickets, without even factoring this in.
No, but because people who are soccer fans
this is
are
their God
Messi,
right here.
Yes,
you can't be God. You can't be that big of an LAFC fan
and not be
but
a Messi
not care
fan.
about. Forget being a fan of Messi. Not care about seeing Messi.
Yeah.
Not that they don't care, but not care enough to sell it. I don't know.
I don't listen to you when you're on the radio, but my brother just texted me, said they're talking about you. It has to be about you. Say this, Beto. Say it if you.
Can't say that.
Dot. You're not a fan. You're a businessman. This is why you and I are different, because you only care about dollars. I'm a fan. Leave me alone.
I don't detect any lies there. I got nothing to argue about.
So this isn't actually a dilemma for him. He's already made his decision.
Yeah, this is Beto trying to instigate
This
his
is
friend
me
telling.
getting kicked out of the. Oh my goodness!
Are you getting kicked out of the group chat? Are they going to treat you like a green dot? Green bug?
He's the guy who had the green dot to begin with.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's why we took it to What's Up, because of him. Beto with the fake news talking about me on the radio. Leave me alone, guys.
That's funny.
He wants to go. You can
Oh,
tell
Yeah.
he
he's
wants
going
to
no matter
go.
what.
going.
He's going, but we've been just trying to harass him into selling because his partner might be selling. His seatmate might be selling.
Oh.
Yeah. And if I do get a
Oh.
credential, I will be there, which is really upsetting all these guys because I'm going and then they have.
That would be the ultimate irony if this guy sells and you end up being the one paid to watch Messi.
I'm going to go stand next to him and be like, look, there's a foot difference, like when you met Yao Ming, right? There it is. Oh, man. Well, that'll be Sunday. You can hear LAFC against Messi in Inter Miami right here on 710 ESPN. And Mario Ruiz with a fantastic promo with it, using a Maná bid on that. All right, coming up, we still got Radio Tinder. We still got Big Deal, No Deal. We got Dealer's Choice, all that other stuff. And we got to figure out our drinks for the golf tournament. That's a
You're
big
late.
dilemma. No, it's not. I'm not late. Why am I late? Why am I late?
It was supposed to be in today at 3 p.m. I'm late.
When you're on this side of the glass, it's called talent. You do whatever you want.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
and after
my.
the Trojans dominated on Saturday over at San Jose State, time for the Nevada Wolfpack to come to the Coliseum on Saturday. Listen today for a chance to win a family 4-pack to USC and Nevada from 710 ESPN.
Sunday night, the
Andy Kamenetsky with you on this afternoon. Rolling along, feeling good, and I apologize because I said Messi wasn't going to start. Well, the group chat really hates me now. They're like, Beto, you're a liar. I'm not listening anymore. Messi is starting right now against Nashville. So I'm not going to sell.
Well, okay, for real,
He's playing
though,
right now.
that makes a difference. Like, if you know Messi actually is going to be playing like a legitimate amount, that changes the equation for real.
Now I hope that he starts against Nashville like he did right now, gets tired, and then they say, hey, we're going to rest him for Sunday. Just for Beto's group chat.
Wow.
They should have sold.
This is getting seriously uncomfortable.
That's what we do. I still haven't talked about the stuff that they got open on Sunday, man. What's going on? Oh, what is it, 5:15 right now? Is this time for Radio Tinder right now?
No.
Oh, it's not?
No.
We would let you know
5:30.
if it was. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate
Remember when you said you didn't want to open up your computer?
Yeah?
This is one of those reasons why you should.
Well, I was just hoping you would talk to my ears, Let me know, man. I
can't do
miss you,
5:30.
Linz.
Radio Tinder. What
Hey.
do you ask?
It's in 15 minutes, Beto.
Well, good. That's
Andy follows the rundown.
Well, Andy is a professional. Unlike me, I'm a squatter. I'm a professional squatter. All right, so coming up next Friday is the 710 ESPN Golf Tournament, Black Gold. Chris Morales is living there. I mean, nice Sunday swagger, by the way, Chris. It must be nice to have one shirt for every day of the month right there. A new hat every day.
Dude, he looks on point in all these videos.
Yes, he
like,
does.
Morales is living his best life on vacation.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, my God.
Like, he looks great.
Yeah, I asked all, hey, can I get a tea time? Yeah, tomorrow, 6 a.m. Okay. Yeah, sure that's going to happen. But now, here's the dilemma. The email came across today. So who's on this email? Because I really don't check emails, especially when they're work-related.
The golf one you're talking about?
The drink one.
Well, I think it's all of the producers and talent, and then Tommy and Chris.
Okay, so the personality drinks for the 19th hole party is the subject line.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read it, of course.
Clearly.
Yeah, I just don't do that, right? But I did read the beginning where it said they're going to be personality drink menus for the fans to purchase at a special rate, and each producer is going to get each producer and host is going to have their own drink. So come up with that. It says, for instance, the Chris Morales, bam, water, Blanco tequila, club soda, 2 limes. All right. Please reply
that sounds
today.
nice, actually.
Laura, it says, please reply today. So don't try to shame me with this 3 o'clock talk right here.
It says 3 p.m.
Nope. Please reply all today. Boom.
Okay.
There it is. Oh, yeah, it says 3 p.m. earlier. Anyways, I don't read
I was
going to
say, wait, you're like leaving a part out of the email.
Yeah, well,
because it does say today by 3 p.m. But, you know.
That's in the beginning part.
It's okay.
Minor
It's
details.
okay.
Minor details. Anyways. So I am not good at this creative stuff about how to make your own drink kind of thing, stuff like that. Just give me shots. So, Laura, did you come up with a drink?
I did. I was telling
Oh,
Andy
wait a
that-
minute. The way you said it, that means there's a story to it.
I did. I just
No, I did.
Okay, so I had creative names, but Chris likes his branding, so he wanted us to start it with producer Laura. And I'm like, okay, if I do my drink names, that's really long to add producer Laura. So I just kept it very basic for my drink. But I wanted to be more creative.
So what's the drink?
It's a margarita. So it's producer Laura's unique marg.
Okay, so what's in it?
Oh, just a pomegranate margarita.
Pomegranate margarita? Mm-hmm. Any
Just very
particular
basic.
tequila? Do you like
Just
the
a-
Blanco,
Okay,
Reposado?
No. Laura's do right here. Now that I'm opening up the email, you guys want me to open my computer? Big mistake. What did you just say it was? A pomegranate margarita? Just that's it?
I said it was basic.
Basic. Hey, guys, I'm going with producer Laura's unique, capital Q, marg.
Yeah.
I'll do a pomegranate margarita. Tequila Blanco, fresh lime juice, pomegranate juice, triple sec, simple syrup. Thank you. Like, you gave the whole detail of what it is.
Well, you're
are you-
supposed to.
Yes.
Yeah, but on the air, you're like, oh, just a margarita.
Well, yeah, because I mean, nobody needs like the specifics of what's in it. You just a margarita's a margarita.
Extra.
Right, but the opportunity,
Extra.
Laura, to get your unique marg, that's going to draw people in.
Yeah,
like that's
I like
part of
unique
what
marg.
That's what it's called, the unique
Yeah.
marg.
Unique marg is legit. That's good. It's going to be hot, too. So there it is.
Yes.
I wanted it to be refreshing.
That sounds good
All right, so
on
we
a hot
got
day.
Morales has tequila. Laura has tequila. Linz, what'd you get?
Well, I went with a Bloody Mary.
Oh,
It's a good one.
And I said, here are my suggestions, because I don't know what to name these things.
But
That's
you
not
used
my
to be a
department.
bartender, right?
You're right, but I never named drinks. I just made really good drinks. I said, Lindsay's Bloody Mary / Bloody Lindsay, ? LOL, because it sounds kind of weird.
Yeah.
Or Lindsay's
Quite.
Super Hot
Yeah.
Bloody Mary, because the point is just a Bloody Mary, but extra spicy.
Oh,
So
okay.
Chris replied to it, and I think he wants to make it Producer Lindsay Baseball's Bloody Heat, because of Hungarian heat.
But see how because I liked it because of Hungarian heat, and then he wants a producer.
But there's no Hungarian
Lindsay's.
heat. It's just.
It's called what again? Say what Chris wants to call it.
Producer Lindsay Baseball's Bloody Heat.
Okay, Hungarian heat's better. Bloody heat.
That's what I said too.
Yeah, I get that it denotes the Bloody Mary, but bloody heat sounds a little bit off-putting.
It sounds weird. Yeah, that's why.
It's a little
that's
bit
what I was saying. When
unsettling.
you're referring to like a person or a
Yeah.
thing, and you're saying
Yeah.
bloody, and you're not giving
Now,
an explanation
Hungarian
of Bloody
heat-
Mary.
Hungarian heat, I like that. And plus, people will look at the ingredients. They're going to be able to figure out there's a Bloody Mary.
Yeah. They're good. Okay.
Because I was like, I think I said, it was hard for me because I was like, ooh, a daiquiri, ooh, a mojito, ooh, this, ooh, that. I'm like, I'm an alcoholic.
Don't make anybody make you
No,
more.
first off, don't
I was
ever.
like,
You're not
I'm
alcoholic.
alcoholic.
You're a connoisseur. Get it right. Cap is boring. This is so boring. The usual Tito soda lime. That's what he wants to call it.
That's what he wants to call it.
Like,
He's a simple
Look,
man.
if you want to drink like Cap,
You know what
this
that
is
is?
what Cappy drinks.
no. You know what that is? Somebody else wrote for him.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I feel like if,
Oh, that's
if Rachel wrote it, it would be way more exciting.
Girly. Yeah.
All right. Corporate Greg is going with a whiskey mule. Very nice. Okay. So here's my dilemma. Like Laura, I'm a drunk. So
Yeah, it was hard.
I mean a connoisseur, and I'm more of a wine guy. When I golf, I usually golf early in the morning, so I don't drink.
Sangria?
Oh,
I was gonna do
snap.
a sangria, but the only reason I didn't because tequila mandala is gonna be there, and I was like, let's keep it with tequila. But you can do a sangria.
But everybody's doing tequila.
You could do a sangria.
Ah, man. But I was thinking, see, this is why I wanted to workshop this on the air. We just in Sedano and Kap as we try to figure out our drinks for the 19th hole and also the 710 ESPN golf tournament next Friday at Black Gold in Yorba Linda. Kamenetsky here was a bartender.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute. It's been a while.
But you know how to
I've done
mix.
it. Yes, I do.
Now, do I go bourbon or do I go whiskey? Because I want to balance out.
Bourbon and whiskey are the same thing.
I mean, bourbon or vodka. Because everybody's going.
different.
Exactly. Because everybody's going with the tequila, this and that. I want to have options, right? Because you want to have options on the table. What can I do?
Okay. What I would do, because this is supposed to be a drink reflecting you, what are you more likely to drink?
Hammered.
So it doesn't even matter.
No, because usually I go neat or on the rocks.
Right, but if
I
you're-
don't mix my
Fine,
drink.
but what are you more likely to drink, neat or on the rocks?
So what I normally go to is Jameson ginger. That's what I've been doing.
Jameson and ginger?
Yeah.
Okay. There are options with Jameson and ginger. You could maybe add a little bit of fresh lime juice to that.
Hold on.
That would be good.
Some
Hold on,
mint.
I got to learn how to use email. Reply all?
Yes.
Reply all.
Okay, reply all.
Some mint.
Do I type in
had
EOD
that.
right here? EOD? Is this, or
You don't need
COB?
to type in.
No, you
type
don't need
that
to
in.
do that.
Those details won't matter.
Yeah, they
Just
don't
stick
matter.
to the
So
drink.
what am I going? Bourbon?
Okay, Jameson, you go typically Jameson and ginger?
Yes.
Okay, Jameson's an Irish whiskey.
Uh-huh.
So you're going Jameson and ginger. You could have some fresh lime juice in there, a little bit of mint. As
Yeah.
Ginger
Laura-
beer or ginger soda?
Well, you tell me. What do you usually do?
You're the bartender. Make it for me.
But it could be either.
I
What do
think you're a
you
beer
usually drink?
dude.
Ginger beer?
Ginger beer.
Okay, that can work. That can absolutely work. That's what's
Nah, you know what? Let me make it just ginger ale.
ginger ale. That can also work.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so ginger ale,
Because I want to go home eventually. All right. Jameson, ginger ale. What else?
ginger ale, fresh lime juice could work.
Fresh lime juice. Now we're acting with
A
Laura.
little bit of mint. A little bit of mint in there could be nice. I'm trying to
I
think
don't know
of
how
this.
many people are making these drinks with fresh lime juice. It's probably
Hey,
roses, but just saying.
Well,
I
okay,
mean, I thought so too, but I put it in there. If it happens, it happens.
exactly.
You know what
Look,
I'm saying?
I'm not
right.
not in charge of the ingredients.
Jameson, ginger ale, lime juice, and what?
mint.
Mint. And?
I think that works.
That
I don't think
works.
you
There it
need
is.
anything
All
else.
right.
Because you're looking for something that's refreshing but pretty simple, pretty clean. That'll work.
So this is the Mr. 1099 is the drink.
Nice.
Nice. There you go.
All right, the Mr. 1099. Where'd I go? Uh-oh. How do I do this?
You sound like Cap over here with your.
Well, I don't ever use email.
I'll-
Logical.
Yeah, it's just reply all, Mr. 1099,
Okay, reply all.
Mr. 1099.
Okay, send.
There you go.
All right, sent. All right, Mr. 1099. We got a drink, Morales. There it is.
There you go.
There it is. There it is. Exactly. All right, so that's next Friday. You can order the Mr. 1099. The Laura, what's yours?
Producer Laura's unique marg.
Lindsay?
I don't know yet.
I vote Hungarian Heat.
I wrote back to Chris and I said, I feel like it sounds kind of weird calling a drink bloody something without the word Mary following it because it sounds like I'm literally bleeding.
I wanted one of my names was like 99% unique because I have a heavy pour, and it was gonna be like a twist to a adios.
An adios.
Adios is, oh my God.
You're too old for adioses.
I know, but I was
Maybe.
like, and then I was like, you know what? We're not gonna do that at the golf course. So
Do you remember what's in them?
I mean, I throw a lot of stuff. I know what the legit one is, but we do a little.
What do you do?
A little twist.
What do you add into it?
A lot of other stuff.
Aspirin. I mean, you're going to be passed out the next day. All right, coming up, though, is going to be Radio Tinder. And I still got to figure out who I'm kicking out of my foursome because I have a dilemma of who should be in or who should be out. And it involves, of course, debauchery. All that and more coming up on 710 ESPN.
The Morales
for it because the creator of Euphoria was the showrunner for The Idol. His name is Sam Levinson. So everyone's like, oh, Euphoria was so amazing. This guy's going to come in and do the show with Lily Rose Depp and The Weeknd. It's going to be amazing. Well, HBO announced yesterday that the show has been canceled and it will not have a second season. So the show holds a 19% critic score and 41% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes. It was, as Andy said, very controversial because of all the graphic and sexual content. And CNN's review, in fact, said despite the controversy, The Idol is mostly guilty of just being plain boring. So this was, I want to say, it's probably one of the worst shows that I've ever seen in my life. And I was so pumped for it. And I couldn't even get past 2 episodes because it was that bad.
Wow.
So, and, you know, I watch a lot of stuff. Like,
Yes,
I watch
you
a lot of
do.
stuff streaming. And so
Bunch
for
of
me
weird
to really,
stuff, too.
yeah, like, for me to not like something and just straight up just not watch it, like, it has to be pretty bad. So that being said, I want to ask you guys, like, what's the worst show you think you've ever watched?
The worst show I've ever watched?
Like from start to finish, like you stayed
I mean,
with the whole
something where,
run?
like, in this situation where I was, like, really excited for the show and it was absolutely
bad.
terrible. Couldn't watch another episode.
Horrible.
Okay, you know what? It's not the worst show. I mean, I just want to make it clear because people are this will sound to some like a hot take, but I could not get into it. I watched the pilot for Game of Thrones 3 times. I could not get through the first 10 minutes.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you.
I've never seen one
Same.
episode.
I haven't seen it.
Like, I get why people liked it. Like, I get what the appeal would be, and I've been told by a lot of people if you stuck with it, it's worth it. I could not get through the first episode.
One of the dads on my daughter's soccer team, Ronnie, every other weekend is, man, just try Game of Thrones. Get through episode 7 or 8. I'm like, if I got to get that far,
Yep.
I'm
Wait,
sorry. And he's
the
after
best
that, you'll be
was-
good.
Yes, the best was, I think it was like Emily or Greg said, once you get up to episode 7, after that it's all really
Yeah,
good. And I was like,
that's
what I heard.
I am
too.
not watching episode 7 to wait for it to get
Okay,
good.
And plus, I watch stuff late at night
I'm gonna fall asleep.
after I've drank a bottle of wine, so I'm
Yeah.
falling asleep.
Okay, here's
Yeah.
another one that actually, in terms of being really excited for a show and it totally let me down. I was a big fan of the show Sons of Anarchy, and the spinoff they did, the Mayans MC, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It was unwatchable, and I was so excited for this. And Jorge Briones, also a big Sons of Anarchy fan, also really excited by
Emilio Rivera is
Mayans
going to come
MC.
get you, man.
Dude, I love him. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
Sons of Anarchy was good.
But
Spin-offs
Mayans
are very
MC
hit
was
or
not
miss.
good.
Yeah. I'm the worst guy to ask this because I really don't watch new shows.
Okay, Laura, what about you?
So, I don't know, Linz.
I think recently it has to be The Idol, but I don't watch new stuff. And even if it's, there was one. It was on, I think, HBO too. I might be wrong. Called Gordita Chronicles. People are like, it's good. It's an all Latino cast. Blah 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 blah. So I personally thought it wasn't like super bad. Like the first episode, I'm like, okay. Second episode, I was like, all right. And then I'm like, oh. But it wasn't the worst.
You know what probably was the worst for me recently? Quarterback. I just could not get through
I
it.
haven't even started.
I like
could
it.
not, I could not get through. You're talking about recently. I'm looking through my Netflix right
I
now.
liked
What
it.
I watched it. I was like, I just couldn't
Oh,
get through
okay.
it.
Here's one, actually. Everyone loves this show. It got tons of Emmy nominations. Beef.
Oh yeah, that's.
I haven't
I
seen
liked
it.
it.
I thought
I couldn't
the
get through
first episode I thought was awesome. Like, it was just bonkers crazy.
But then again, this is why it's everybody's opinion, and you can have fun with
But
it.
then after that,
just took too long.
It started getting, I thought, progressively dumber. And, like, some of the plot points, I'm like,
Yeah.
this isn't believable.
He was very hipster, foodie type guy.
And
As a guy
and
who only goes to McDonald's, it's not for me.
And I love Stephen Yeun, like the lead actor on it. He's great. I think Ali Wong's talented. I did not
I love
like
Ali
the show
Wong.
at all.
You know
Did not
which
like
one?
it.
I'm a huge
oh
Sex
wait,
in the City.
Beef is the one where they killed each other or something like
No,
that.
it's a road rage show. It, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Say,
Oh,
what are you talking
I
about
like that.
McDonald's?
I'm talking about Chef.
Oh,
Chef.
The bear?
No, the bear. That one.
Oh,
yeah.
I love the bear.
Nah,
I
that
love
was like
the
whatever.
bear.
That's why I'm talking about food.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Beef
funny.
is the one where the guy went to her house, the handyman.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
I didn't get into it.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I
that
liked
was-
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
the chef one. Nah.
Okay, we can talk about it off air just in case some people. There's. I thought it started making less and less sense after a while.
Yeah, it definitely jumped the shark. Like they kind of like either ran out of ideas or so like I don't know. It was like interrupted in the
But
middle.
yeah, I
of
did
it.
fast forward a little bit, but I'll stick with it.
Yeah, so
Well, it's easy to stick with something when you're fast forwarding.
Because I invested so much time in Beef. Yeah. The bear? I was right there.
Love the bear.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, everyone wants to know, Radio Tinder, it's presented by Tequila Mandala. So great. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala, award-winning small batch premium sipping tequila made from the finest mature agaves, available wherever fine tequilas are sold, and it is fine tequila.
I love the way that you read that. You're so into it.
When at the Mandy's, I met with some of the Tequila Mandala folks.
My boy
and
Beto.
A couple of them were kind enough to let me sample all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. Visit tequilamandala.com. Up your game. Demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala.
I want to go to the Coliseum on Saturday afternoon to watch the Trojans take on Nevada. Caller number 7 right now at 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-ESPN wins a family 4-pack to see Caleb, Lincoln, and the USC Trojans this weekend. Call now to win from 710 ESPN.
I
All
like
day.
how I got called Kelly Stafford yesterday for putting the whole side piece thing and main piece thing going on.
Whoa. I need to listen to that podcast. What's going on?
Well, you didn't want to talk about it in the beginning of the show.
I didn't know it was about side pieces.
Yeah, side piece, main piece.
I definitely not talking about this. All right. So that's my dilemma. I got to figure this out.
Look, degenerate golfer sounds like a fun guy.
Will you be there?
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Will you take care of him?
Absolutely not. Not in a million years am I taking that on.
This guy will end up in the circle of trust, probably holding Pepe's llama upside down. Like, that's the kind of thing he'll do.
Well, if nothing else, he will make some friends. Is he online? Like, he should join the circle.
He has a droid. So that might be the difference, too. He has a droid, so maybe keep him out for that. He wants to really meet producer Lindsay.
Oh.
Lens?
Well, then definitely don't bring him. If he's that kind of guy and he wants to meet me, stay away from me.
Oh, just when we thought we had a love connection.
I've done my time as a cart girl.
So basically what Lindsay's saying is she's met your friend before, even if she hasn't met your friend before.
She's met him before.
I mean, I drove the beverage cart for many years, so I've definitely met pretty much every golfer.
You've met
there is at this
degenerate
point.
golfer in Beto's phone.
He's also my caddy. Yeah, like Jackie.
Caddy?
He's a caddy.
He's your caddy.
At times. Sedano Kap, Beto Durant, Andy Kamenetsky. Coming up, we still got Big Deal, No Deal, Dealer's Choice. And one more time about the Dodgers. I got a vibe about them on 710 ESPN.
Sunday night.
You need to know. What you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
And what you need to know is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Take it away, Lindsay.
Thanks, Andy. All right, guys. So Yesterday, ESPN announced a new music partnership for Monday Night Football this season. Timbaland and Justin Timberlake will curate music for 7 weeks of Monday Night Football games this season, including the Week 1 Bills-Jets season opener. The music will be featured in promos, game broadcasts, and pregame shows. Last season, of course, ESPN teamed up with Marshmello to remix the Monday Night Football song. But yeah, looks like they're trying to get more hip, I guess, as far as the music choices go for Monday Night Football. So keep an eye out for that.
Really cool. That's cool.
Actually, that's a good idea.
That's a good mix right there. Good beats.
That's a really good idea. I think they will do that well. I also don't know who Marshmello is.
He's a DJ who wears the big giant marshmallow head on his head.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
It's literally a giant marshmallow with 2 X's as the eyeballs and a smiley face.
Yeah.
That's who my nephew was for Halloween a couple years ago.
Your daughter knows who it is. And I love working with you, Andy, because you make me seem hipper than I really am. Right? I am the ultimate. I don't know, but you.
I don't know. Andy has a way better sense of pop culture references as far as like music and TV goes than you.
But he would. That's why I know Marshmello.
Yeah, but you probably wouldn't know half of the artists that Andy does know because you're always like, who? What?
Well, yeah, because I don't listen to music. So.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
You know what? I just Googled him.
Yeah.
I've seen Marshmello before.
Yeah.
And I guess now that I'm looking at him,
You've
I
seen
should
it
have
at
realized.
Halloween.
I should have realized that's Marshmello.
Yeah.
He's
Like
a
how
giant
many?
marshmallow head.
Yeah, I mean, how many other DJs are there who wear a marshmallow head?
Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that's Monday Night Football. Timbaland and JT. Very
Yeah.
nice.
No,
Big
that's
sports fan. JT.
He is. He's a minority owner with the Grizzlies.
That's right. He's out there in Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you, Lindsay. Lindsay, we got an update too on the golf. So for next Friday, 19th hole, we're gonna have libations. I emailed back and I changed it. I'm going with Theo Beto's Bender. That's gonna be my drink right there.
That's pending, by the way. Did you see the email?
Why?
Morales said we got to check on the Bender part.
Okay then.
Oh,
okay.
geez.
Oh, gee.
I'm
Theo
update to
Beto's
the-
Bebida. There it is.
Okay. I also changed mine.
Well, to what?
I added instead of just a marg, it's a Palmrita.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, very nice.
Producer
very nice.
Laura's unique Palmrita.
The Bender, I'm sure the Bender issue is they don't want to seem like they're encouraging people to be absolutely out of hand. That's
Which
my
they-
guess.
Yeah,
When
which
that
they
means I
will
can't
be
bring the
anyway.
guy. And by the way, Linz, right now we just during the break we called my buddy, the degenerate, and without saying anything, I put him on speaker, and Andy heard his voice. Andy,
He has exactly the voice that I imagined.
Can you give us like an idea of what it sounds like?
Hey! I heard you talking about me! Oh, I can behave!
Don't bring that guy.
I can behave!
Sorry, guy. Love you, but don't bring that guy.
and he said he's gonna sleep in his car.
Oh, then definitely do not bring him. Dude can't even like arrange to get a hotel. Like, come on.
I don't need to. I'm busy behaving.
That's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he was saying. So Sedano, you say, put up a poll. We'll put up a poll, see if you can come out here. All right,
By
Dodgers.
the way,
go ahead.
really quick, Beto, in regards to the golf tournament. So I've been trying really hard to find a place that will allow me to rent a llama for the day because we got to get Pepe's llama out there, right? And I've
show's
realized
off
in
the
my
rails.
research that like renting llamas and alpacas for weddings, that's like a thing.
What?
People,
Yes, it is a huge thing.
yeah,
It's
like
a business.
llamas are a sign of like good luck and fortune.
Yep.
And so Pepe obviously was having some good luck that day when he saw the llama at the what concert was it again?
Beck.
I forget.
Beck.
Concert. So yeah, I've been trying to rent a llama to bring to the Black Gold golf outing, or have brought there because I'm not bringing it there. So if anyone has any leads, because it seems like the llamas that I have contacted are all booked up for the day. So
Let me call my buddies in the rancho.
Okay,
right now.
I found one place, barnyardonwheels.com.
Whoa, okay.
They specialize, it would appear, in renting out llamas and alpacas.
Okay, that place is not nearby because I did look into that one.
Okay.
If you guys are in the circle, just tweet at, producer Lindsay.
Phil's Animal
Yeah,
Rentals?
All right, basically, if you live in Riverside, you
Facts.
gotta have
or
an alpaca
somewhere in like
or a
Rondale
llama.
and stuff.
Well, Phil's Animal Rentals, it's very, very pricey because they're They rent out all kinds of animals and stuff for,
Lindsay,
like,
there's no such thing as a
productions.
discount llama.
Oh, but
No,
actually, we don't need a show llama. We just need a llama.
We just want a llama there. Like, he doesn't need to, like, no one needs to pet him or anything. We just need him there, like, in a little pen. People can take pictures
No,
in
you
front of it.
cannot
you know?
have
That's
like
hilarious.
an unpettable llama
Yes, you can.
around
we
that
just
many
need
people.
photos. We
No.
need photos.
Also-
and that's
If we
it.
bring the llama, I'm bringing the degenerate guy.
Oh God,
They
it's
can
not.
sleep next
It's
to
not
each other.
equivalent. It's not equivalent. Also, really quick, because as you guys know, Pepe had surgery,
Oh, yeah.
and he did text me that he's fine, and he's
Good.
like,
Good,
"Can you
good to hear.
please tell everyone I said hi and tell them thank you on my behalf for the get well wishes." So that's from Pepe.
There you go, Pepe. Get better. He had the hip surgery, right?
That was knee.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
neat.
it was a knee
okay.
surgery.
Oh, good.
Pepe's llama just tweeted at us and said he's going to be really upset if he can't go. So, my point.
And your 1099 too was like, we need to change that invoice from yesterday.
What a show. Sedano and Kap still on vacation. They'll be back
Clearly.
next week. George actually will be at Syracuse this week. He's got Syracuse and Colgate on the ACC network. Cappy comes back sometime this week, doesn't he?
No, Cappy's not back next week, too.
No,
Okay.
Friday. Isn't he back Friday?
No, he's not back Friday.
Again, he is ducking Mace.
Oh my God, he was originally
He is.
back Friday, right?
He's ducking Mace.
So who's in on Friday?
Yeah, who's in on Friday?
So I was we could do this off the air, but
Oh,
I just
okay.
looked at the schedule because
okay.
Cap is on the schedule, but it's a mistake where like whoever made that change a while ago just
Uh-huh.
forgot to
I
change
know
the
why
date
she
on
wants
that.
to do it off air.
So
Oh, okay.
no,
Well,
it was just like a mistake. Like sometimes things get overlooked on the schedule and things happen. I think somebody's name got like deleted because someone was going to be able to do it and then they couldn't and they changed it and like the wrong name got deleted.
all right.
So
Well,
Cappy's not back.
if you
Friday.
need me, I'm here. Either
Okay,
way,
well-
Aren't you in already?
no, I'm not. But it's going to be 95, so I'm going to be here.
Oh, okay. There you go,
It's
girl.
AEC.
Problem solved.
Dodgers yesterday. Went to check out the game. We're talking about this. To be honest, fantastic. Then the stats came up. I didn't know the Diamondbacks had won 13 of 15 before they came to see the Dodgers this week. And then the Dodgers yesterday had Kershaw win his distance. They went to 5, looked good. Tonight, this is what, Andy, is the concerning part for the Dodgers, right? You're looking good right now. It's September. Right now, I'm not going to get into, they're not going to beat the Braves in the playoffs. I'm not doing that. Playoffs, whatever. Once you get
Look,
there, figure it out.
the Braves are really, really good.
Yeah.
And maybe there's nothing the Dodgers can do about that.
But then after Kershaw tonight, they're throwing Ryan Pepio, who is a man who missed most of the season because of an oblique injury. He was supposed to make the team coming out of spring training. Oblique injury took longer than needed for him to heal. He's throwing today. But in many ways, I want to give a lot of credit to the Dodgers front office for sticking with their guys while figuring out what are we doing to plug the hole right now. It just at times it felt this season like they had the dam ready to bust and they had just fingers in there trying to just stop the water from getting out, and then eventually the water receded. Right? They've been doing that. You're like, wait, this is a team. If you're telling me you're throwing Kershaw and then Pepio, like, this is a wild card team. Not a team that's up 13 and a half games. We've been around a lot of teams in all sports.
And by the way, it wasn't that long ago where they were third in the division.
At the All-Star break.
Yeah.
At the All-Star break, Arizona's right there. Everybody, that was a month ago. So we've been around a lot of teams that have this juju, right? Some vibe about them. Like, it's hard to explain, and I don't ever get like this, but do they make you want to go watch a game?
Well, okay. When you were talking about the juju and the vibe, we've also been around teams, and in particular Dodger teams, that had the opposite. Remember 2007? That was the year of the kids versus the veterans.
Matt Kemp and Jeff Kent.
Right. That was maybe the worst clubhouse or locker room I've ever been around in all my years covering a lot of different sports, a lot of different teams. That was a vibe that was poisonous.
Yeah. And that was a bad old locker room, too.
Yes.
So there was no room to
Well,
get
it
on
was like the mix of you had like Nomar and Luis Gonzalez.
Luis
and like
Gonzalez,
you said,
that's right.
Jeff Kent, Brad Penny, Derek Lowe. And then the young guys, the kids they were talked about, like Matt Kemp, James Loney, Andre Ethier, Kershaw, Russell Martin, like all those guys who were, to be totally honest, outplaying the veterans.
Yep.
But the veterans were on the field still a lot because they were getting a lot of deference from, I believe at the time it was Grady Little. And
Grady.
But the team was not good, and when they'd lose, which was often, the veterans were often not there to be seen, and the kids had to go out there and talk. And by the end of the season,
because we talked to Matt Kemp a lot.
Yeah, Matt Kemp, Russell Martin, Kershaw when he did pitch, Ethier, like those guys were all out front and center, and you could feel this, for lack of a better way of putting it, like civil war inside that clubhouse. Mm-hmm. And I remember by the end of it, I had never been happier to have a season be done than that one. And that, after a while, snowballs. And the reason I bring that up is this feels like a group where the vibe has just been snowballing in a positive way, where just something good happens. You build on that. Something good happens again. You build on that more. And then all of a sudden, this team becomes better than it feels like they have any right to be.
You know what I like about sports over maybe the last decade? You no longer have that veteran against young guy. Hey, rookie, you got to know your place. Yeah, you still got to know your place. You still got to go get the donuts. You still got to carry the bag here. But none of this, like, you speak when spoken to kind of attitude. Like, you don't have the young players walking around with, like they're going to be, like they're on eggshells.
Right.
I remember hearing CC Sabathia a couple years ago talk about when he was at the end of his tenure with the Yankees, why those Yankee teams were good. Because anytime somebody got called up from AAA, they embraced them.
Right.
They brought him in, and they made him feel comfortable. He said, because that kid is going to help us win eventually. Why be scared? It's already scary enough as it is when you get called up, because CC talks about when he got called up with the Indians, how he was 20 years old, 2 years removed from going to the prom, had no idea really what he was doing, but because he was this bonus baby, everybody was picking on him and just completely rousing him, and he didn't want to be there. They didn't want to interact with the teammates. They didn't want to play well because he wanted to be gone. And there's a reason the Indians at that time didn't do anything for him, right? So the Yankees changed that culture around. That's what successful teams do. That's what the Dodgers have done in the last couple of years, where you start seeing guys get called up, and you get called up, and you plug and you play right away.
Yeah.
And you perform right away. And that culture starts with the front office and Dave Roberts and what's going on. Because Grady Little was that old school manager of like, nope. Nope. There was a lot of nope from Grady Little.
There was a lot of nope from Grady Little. I mean, look, it's one thing to put rookies sort of through their paces so that they can.
You have to
like
go
they can understand like this is a new level of job and professionalism and accountability, and you have to. You're also getting these guys where they're used to being like the BMOC, and you have to explain to them that like you've entered a different level.
Correct.
It's one thing to remind them that you're a rookie and you don't know everything yet. It's another thing to pick on them for the sake of picking on them.
Yes.
Because I went through it before.
Yeah.
And because I went through it, it's like, it's like fraternity hazing.
Yeah.
Because I went through it, you need to go through it. Is there really a point? No. The point is I'm putting you through what I went through.
Yeah. And if you hated it, why are you doing it to me?
Right. Exactly.
Like it's a rite of passage. You know what? I'm glad all that stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of things that were rites of passages that we eventually decided these are dumb.
Exactly.
These are dumb things to do to people.
You know what's not dumb? The 710 ESPN golf tournament. It's going to be party.
Depends if your friend shows up.
Oh, and if the llama shows up. And if my friend and the llama, drama llama, all that other stuff. The 10th annual SoCal Hyundai ESPN LA Golf Classic is presented by Coors Light. Oh, Coors Light. Heck yeah, that's what I need. And Hollywood Park Casino next Friday at Black Gold Golf Club in Yorba Linda. And even if you're not golfing with us that day, show up. The 19th hole party starts at 4 with the afternoon show, thanks to Sunday Swagger, San Pedro Fish Market, Craveable, and Tequila Mandala.
Sunday night.
Do at 6:15. It is time for the producer Laura rejoin of the day. Take it away, producer Laura.
Thanks, Chris. And today, I was asking Andy right now when he walked out if he has Sirius XM on his car. Because I had it when I first got my car, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not paying for all that. I just got a free subscription, and I stumbled into this channel called Aguila. It's like 322.
322.
And I was like,
oh, yeah.
So I was like, bro, because they didn't have this when I initially got my car. This is like a new thing for me. I'm like jamming the whole time to work. I was like, I'm in a banda mood. This came up.
Yeah.
Los Angeles de Charlie, Bobby Pulido. I was like, oh my God, I got to throw it back to some rieleros.
And
like,
then
so
Channel
good.
13 is Pitbull Radio.
Yeah, Pitbull Radio.
My boy DJ Ron.
Mr. Worldwide?
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah.
Dale.
Yeah. Well, they had like the typical ones that they had when I first got my subscription was Caliente and En Vivo. And the new one is this one, the 322 and Heat
Aguila, yeah,
Uno.
jam.
They're so good. I'm so proud of them.
My daughter's old school, we used to have this running joke. The crossing guard looked exactly like Pitbull.
Okay.
And he was
Dale.
really animated, like in
Okay.
the way he would direct traffic at the as the crossing guard, like he was performing. So we were always like Mr. Worldwide there, directing traffic around the school.
That's hilarious.
He looked exactly like Pitbull.
That's funny.
That's Andy Kamenetsky, who often gets confused for Pitbull at Laker games.
I'd like to think I'm getting Jason Statham.
We'll give you a little Jason. Depends on how shiny the dome is
The
right
dome.
now. I'm Beto Durant in for Sedano and Cap. Guys are still on vacation this week. George is actually a staycation getting ready for Syracuse and Colgate on the ACC network this weekend. You play volleyball?
My daughter plays.
Does she?
Yeah, she's really into it.
In the club world, or she's out there? She's
She's not in the club world, but she
will be
played.
soon.
She played for her middle school. She has tryouts for the next team coming
There
up
you
next
go.
week. She's very, very into it. Like
That's
she's
cool.
not.
How bruised is she?
She's not that tall, so I guess her center of gravity is lower, like lower falls, stuff like
Okay.
that. But
Because
you
my
do.
arms were done.
Well, I actually got her those forearm sleeves.
Okay.
So that helps. She loves it.
Yeah,
She's not into sports, but she loves
That's
volleyball.
cool. That's cool. Well, the reason I'm bringing that up, you know what's going on in Nebraska right now?
Yes.
Crazy. I just saw the tweet right now. Over 90,000 people are at Nebraska right now, the stadium where the Black Shirts play. Great football program. Tommy Frazier back in the day, watching women's volleyball. Now, I know Nebraska is a really good women's volleyball program, but 90,000 in the stadium. Mind you, volleyball court is half the size
I
of
know.
a basketball court.
It's not a big court at all.
No. Would you go to something like that?
Yeah. I would. I mean, first of all, I
would too. I would too.
I grew up in St. Louis, which means this is not a volleyball community, like a volleyball vibe, volleyball culture. Like I had never even seen a volleyball net like in person till I moved out here. Like it's volleyball
And in Top Gun.
well, in person. Because like volleyball is very much a coastal thing.
Yes.
It's big on both coasts, but it's not big in the Midwest, or at least wasn't when I was growing up in the Midwest. So I'd never really seen volleyball until my daughter started playing.
Okay.
It's really entertaining. It is a fun game to watch.
A new world record for women's sporting events. 92,003 people are watching women's volleyball in Nebraska right now. And I'm watching some of the videos. The entrance that they came out to, the video board, looked just like the football games. The same entrance. The fireworks. It is a sea of red at the stadium all the way to the top. There's people right next to the light poles, up on top. They can see California from where they're standing right now. It's amazing to see. You do know where they do the beach volleyball championships.
I don't.
Take a guess. It's in the South.
In the South?
Yep. The beach volleyball championships are NCAA.
NCAA in the South. Georgia?
Alabama.
Alabama.
USC has
wow, I would not have thought about that.
remember Dane Bland, who used to be reporter for Fox Sports? He's
Yeah.
the head coach for the women's over there. And then, of course, volleyball, you talk about Chris McGee, our friend from Spectrum Sports Net.
Geeter,
his daughter Millie plays
Yeah.
at Miracosta. So volleyball is huge, right? You would think in Southern California,
it's
especially.
actually women's volleyball and like girls volleyball, high school level volleyball. It is apparently one of the fastest growing sports
Yes.
over like the last 5 years in this country. Like I think now, like if I had been growing up as a teenager in the Midwest now, I might be exposed to more volleyball.
Yeah, and so my son was in the basketball world, so those facilities that they play basketball, we'd get done with our tournament, and then they're setting up for volleyball, and you see some of these girls walking in 6'1", 6'2", and just ballers, just coming out there and flying. If you ever been up close for one of these elite games, have you ever been to a college volleyball game?
Yeah, I took my daughter last year
That's
to
awesome.
a couple USC games.
Fantastic.
It was
right?
great.
Girls are flying.
They
all over the
are
place.
so. They have. She's now a sophomore. They had this freshman. I don't remember her name on the team last year, and she was clearly one of the stars of this team as a freshman. Which means if you're a freshman, like a true freshman star at USC, you are really, really good.
Yeah.
She was incredible.
Yeah, I'm gonna send out a tweet that are in the circle of trust, a picture from an airplane. The overhead shot is fantastic. But the reason I really want to get to this is because we all love the Magic Johnson Twitter account, right? Beto Duran, Andy Kamenetsky.
Oh, did Magic have thoughts?
Oh,
did he share thoughts?
The Magic Twitter account. It's a verified too. Of course, Magic, the Big Ten. Michigan State athlete. He supports women's sports. He's out there. Magic Johnson, and I quote, "There are so many people dressed in all red on the Big Ten Network. I'm blown away. Shout out to all the Husker fans that showed their support for women's athletics and the Nebraska volleyball team. Magic Johnson." And, of course, he tags them Husker VB.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Anytime there's an event in women's sports that truly becomes an event and like a story, women's sports, I think, have come a long way in terms of getting attention and, becoming part of sports culture, like in a more mainstream way. And, I think there's been a higher level of acceptance, stuff like that. But it benefits them so much when they really become not just a story, but this is like a unique story.
It's
and
cool.
This is legit. Like if you can get 90,000.
Crazy. They're not even getting that for football right now.
Right. 90,000 is a massive crowd.
Yeah, a world record, 92,003.
I mean, that's like the amount of people who show up this weekend to Beyonce, at SoFi, or Taylor Swift during this tour. That is a massive amount of people.
Yeah, and the Dodgers have a lot of cool stuff going on, and they do a lot of good things for the community. This Friday, Kobe's daughter will be throwing out the first pitch on Kobe night. And then this Sunday, Matthew Stafford will be throwing out the first pitch at Dodger Stadium.
Is Kelly going to be there with him?
Thank you. Very well done. Well done.
Seriously.
You think she's not? I'm surprised she's not the one throwing out the first pitch.
I know.
Oh, but who will catch it? Oh, Matthew doesn't have a relationship with the ball boys at the Dodgers. Anyways, coming up, big deal, no deal. Producer Lindsay, producer Laura here, Andy Kamenetsky, I'm Beto Duran, and you on 710 ESPN.
Beto, before we get into big deal or no deal,
We're
I
having a
have
whole
bad news for
conversation.
you.
Oh, the llama's out.
The llama's not out
Okay.
It's about
yet,
you.
but you have to find a new drink because apparently you stole corporate Greg's drink.
I did?
Yep.
Was he in the email?
Yeah,
Yes, he is.
he is.
He
Okay.
responded with that.
You said you stole my drink, Beto, and you definitely did.
Okay, well then, okay.
It's
Greg?
a Moscow Mule.
Oh, that's what it is?
That's
Is that
yeah.
Is that what a Moscow Mule is? I don't drink those.
I believe it's very
I mean,
similar.
a Moscow Mule is
is.
with vodka.
I will Google.
Jameson, ginger ale, fresh lime juice, and mint.
All right,
Corporate
well, you know
Greg's-
what?
Oh no, wait! It's a whiskey mule. A whiskey
Right.
mule.
All right, well, I want bourbon, 1 scotch, 1 beer. All right, that's what I want. So I'm going to get a bourbon drink, and I'll have one for you tomorrow, Linz.
Don't tell me. You know,
You gotta reply
Well,
to the
I
email.
don't.
Reply to
I'm
him.
done.
You know what? You did what you had to do. You did your drink. You're good.
You know what? Here it is. I got a name. Theo Bethel's Bourbon. Boom. Now,
I mean,
bartender,
I will say you replied all to the exact email where Greg wrote whiskey, ginger, lime. Just saying.
for the record, COD, I did not read all those emails.
He didn't. He clearly
Well,
because
yeah.
he was trying
Well,
to
that's
fight
not
me.
We
fault.
believe you, Beto.
Yeah, clearly you didn't. That's not my fault.
This
I'm
is
just telling
why
you.
I just tell you, just text me. I don't read emails.
You know what, Beto? This is not my department. I'm just trying to help you out, okay?
Above our pay grade, bruh.
Well, then whose is it?
No, I'm just.
It's yours
I'm
and
happy-
Morales's.
Yeah,
I'm
Morales.
happy to help out. I'm happy to help
Linz, you're
out.
the
I'm
best.
just letting you know that there is an issue with your drink, and so if you wanted to workshop it on the air, that's cool. If
Dealer's
not,
choice.
that's cool too.
Yeah, I mean, Lindsay's not objecting to your drink.
Oh,
Morales is
Greg.
objecting
No,
to
it's
your
Greg.
drink.
Greg.
Oh, it's
Well,
Greg.
Greg.
again, it's no one's really objecting to it. Beto
Well, I
just
thought- isn't
picked
this
the same
ultimately
exact thing
like
that
Greg
Greg
may
already
have
picked.
Greg may have objected, but ultimately it becomes Morales' thing to deal with.
You know what?
Correct?
I think they're just trying to do something cool for everybody at the event, and clearly didn't pay attention to the part where Greg listed off his ingredients, and it was the exact same thing as Beto. So
All right, we'll figure this out, Linz. Thank you so much.
maybe you just do the same. Just do your whiskey and ginger.
No, I'm gonna find something. You know what I'm gonna do?
Sangria, bro.
No, I'm gonna get a sangria for the circle.
Oh, we missed the opportunity. By
The
the
circle
way.
gria. Oh,
Circle Gria.
yeah, the
like
circle
that.
gria. There it is.
I like
Okay.
that.
The
I
Theo
knew-
Bethel's circle gria.
I knew sangria had to get in there somehow. So there you go.
I don't even
See,
drink it.
I
but hey.
thought for a second, Lindsay, you were going to set this up with Beto Duran has the same drink as Corporate Greg. Big deal or no big deal?
I did tell her to do that.
Well,
and
I
she
was
like,
going
no,
to, but
yeah.
clearly it's a big deal because
Yeah.
we can't have two of them having the exact same drink, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So
Just
get-
reply all and send that.
We got
circle,
it.
No, I'm done email. I've done enough emails for the week. Circle
No,
gria.
just send the email, circle
I
Gria.
gotta
That's all you got to
figure
do,
this- I gotta
Beto, and
figure
we're
this
done.
out.
Okay?
Well, send Chris the podcast.
What was it? Theo Beto's Circle Gria?
Circle gria for the circle of trust and the llama.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
I will reply out to that.
What up, Liz? What we got?
All right, so there's an interesting story about an American Airlines flight from Southwest Florida International Airport to Dallas, Fort Worth, when an airplane was delayed by 2 hours and 10 minutes due to an unusual smell. So basically, they spent an hour and a half searching for what the cause of the smell could be, and they assumed that it was some type of propane in the cargo, and kept asking customers if anybody had anything like that in their luggage, which nobody admitted to. So as they continued to search, they found the source of the smell. It was a suitcase with rotting vegetables.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes.
Ew.
Yep, and they had to use a giant fan to eject the smell from the belly of a plane. So I feel like this is a really weird, maybe not big deal, but a very weird deal. Would you ever get on a plane in a situation like this if it smelled so bad that you wanted to vomit?
That's a big deal. I'm not doing it,
It's a really big deal.
and I'm pretty sensitive with my nose.
I'm very sensitive
and
to smell.
I deal with a lot, especially because as much as we fly. But nah, you gotta have. Now, if it's a flight to Vegas, 45 minutes, I can deal with that. But cross country, no. No, we're complaining.
What about a flight from Florida to Dallas?
That's too far. I just did it on Sunday. Nope, too far.
Okay.
That's a long time to be with that rancid of a smell.
No. Rotten vegetables.
The funniest thing is how like they assumed that somebody accidentally like can't they thought maybe it was like lighter fluid or camping propane, and they're like, if somebody has it, you're not going to get in trouble. We know people forget things like this. Just tell us where it is so we can identify the bag and get it off the plane.
Well, here becomes part of the problem. You're not supposed to be transporting vegetables and things like that. Like these may have been sort of like black market vegetables.
Like the smelly cheese from Mexico.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
my mom
I
brings
mean,
that.
I don't think you're supposed to be doing that.
Well, you can transport small amounts of food. I've done it a million times.
Not an entire suitcase full.
Well, I don't know the details of it, but nonetheless, somebody had some rotting vegetables in their suitcase, which is nasty. Like, who does that?
Oh,
That's disgusting.
Terrible.
that's oof.
Nah.
All right, so you guys remember?
I love how you
hearing-
find these stories, Lynn. You're the
Yeah, I know.
best.
I really got to dig for some of these sometimes, but that was a good one. You guys remember last NBA season? Referee Eric Lewis had
Yeah.
an investigation into his social media activity because remember they found what they thought was a burner account basically where he was criticizing NBA referees and commenting publicly on officiating matters without approval. Well, turns out, as part of this investigation, or the ending of the investigation, Eric Lewis is now retiring effective immediately. Is this a big deal or no deal, Andy?
It is. It's a big deal because it feels like if he wasn't retiring, it would have turned into a massive deal. This was clearly you want to go out quietly or you want to go out loudly, but either way, you're going out. And, it does the NBA some degree of favor if they can close this thing off with some degree of plausible deniability. But it also feels like if Eric Lewis wasn't willing to cooperate, they were going to keep investigating, and something bad enough would have come out that, again, led Eric Lewis to want to retire.
Yeah, big deal for sure. And the lead story on ESPN was about this. First of all, when you're an official, you don't ever want anybody to know your name, right? And when it comes to something like this,
Unless you're Joey Crawford.
there it is.
He wanted everyone to know his name.
Joey Crawford.
Joey
Yeah,
Crawford.
his brother's Jerry, the baseball.
Yes. Okay, Joey
All right,
Crawford.
So the league is ending its investigation into a social media activity. Boom, you quit, and that's it. Here's the thing, though. He's only 52. He had worked a lot of games. He had worked a lot of final games. That's a really
He's a veteran referee,
Yeah.
but he's
Yeah.
still pretty young.
that's a 6-figure gig right there, and you don't work all year long. To risk your career for a burner account, this is why you don't do that. So for everybody who accuses me of being G. Alonzo and the Circle of Trust, and that's my burner, hell no. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna say.
You're not trying to get fined and lose your job.
Exactly. At all. I want to lose my job for something that my name's on.
I mean, look, how many people
Which
have
is
we
soon.
How many people have we seen high profile who've been caught with burners?
Man.
Colangelo, Kevin Durant. Like, there have been so many people.
You know what? There are a lot of executives that I know that have them. And I'm like, why? Like, you are so thin-skinned. Why?
That's actually the thing, is they so badly want to get the last word. Mm-hmm. They don't want to just take public criticism and just realize, like, that's part of the gig. That is part of why you have so much power, so much money. It's because you are being compensated in part for being front-facing and people being in your business. And obviously, you don't want people getting out of control with this. You don't want them crossing lines, but criticism is part of the deal.
And I remember
It's part of the deal for what you and I do.
maybe about a decade ago, Twitter, before Instagram, Twitter was really strong, and you can tell when the burner counts were coming out. I'm like, that person knows too much about what they're tweeting about to only have 8 followers.
Right.
Like, oh, you're giving me money details about a contract? Oh, somebody's in
Awfully
trouble.
plugged in egg that
Yes,
we're hearing from.
Very, very. Then just stupid. It's not worth it, man. Another example of losing your job over social media for being stupid.
Yeah, when we get later into dealer's choice, I got something that is along these lines.
All right, so I probably should have done this one after the first airplane story, but it's still a great
We're
story,
gonna
and
set
I
it
love
up.
it. And I love it, okay?
All right.
So one airline plans to find out if solitude-seeking travelers will pay an extra charge to avoid sitting near babies and little kids. Right here, That's me. I've been saying this for years. I've even asked this question
Your
on
kids out the street.
Radio Tinder, Big Deal, No Deal, whatever you want to call it. Corendon Airlines says that it will sell an adults-only zone, which is no one under 16, on flights between Amsterdam and Curacao starting in November.
Oh, that's a long flight.
Yes, they said that flight particularly takes about 10 hours. And the airline announced last week that it'll set aside about 100 regular seats and 9 extra legroom seats in their adult zone. And a wall or curtain will separate the section from the wailing masses further back. The airline is going to be charging an extra reservation fee of $50 for the no kids zone.
Worth it.
And $109 for one of the extra legroom seats in the
Worth
no
it.
kids zone. Is this a big deal or no deal? Because I think that every airline in the entire country should be doing this.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And they're going to be able to charge as much as they want because there are only a few seats available for that, right?
Okay, tell me again, where is this flight going from?
Amsterdam to Curacao.
Amsterdam to Curacao?
Yeah, the
Yes.
Netherlands to Curacao.
And back?
It's a 10-hour flight.
And back? Like, is it round trip?
No, one
I
way.
don't know, but I mean, they're
Well, no,
I
because
guess-
I'm thinking like no adult is bringing their children to Amsterdam.
Well, if you're a family, no, I'm saying
I mean, I
it's from the
disagree.
Netherlands. It's the Netherlands, right?
Okay.
So if you're
It's
Dutch
Amsterdam.
and you're going to Curacao, which
Okay.
is also a Dutch property,
But I'm thinking like round trip or whatever. They're going to be
Obviously, people are if they found a need to create a separate.
See, I wonder if
adults-only
they're
zone.
creating something to get you to buy that in reality you wouldn't be benefiting that much from in the first
No,
place for this particular
I think you're thinking
flight.
too far into it, and I think that there are plenty of passengers that travel from one country to the other regularly, and just because it's like seen as like a place where a lot of people go do drugs and stuff and party, that people
Party,
assume,
party.
why would you take kids there? Well, it's also a regular city too.
Sorry, I just saw this in the
Just saying.
circle of trust from Freddie D at Clipper Freddie D. You guys ever notice that whenever Beto is on, Greg and PV disappears? Thou doth protest a little too much about not having a burner, Beto.
oh man, these fools.
But yeah, anyway, as far as this flight goes, I think that's a great idea.
Is the
and I think-
curtain though like? Is the curtain enough to keep you from being distracted or bothered by the kid? Like if the kid is screaming, you're going to be able to hear it anywhere on the flight.
Put
You're
that
right,
kid way in the
but
back.
in a
Last
400
row.
in a 432 seat plane,
Okay.
I think there's a big enough difference that it says a wall or a curtain. So, I mean, I don't know. If I'm in the front of the plane, I'm not going to hear baby screaming in the way back of the plane. I think it goes maybe, 10 rows, 20 rows
It's crazy.
before you stop hearing it.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them.
Yeah,
Get
they should.
rid
They
of
should
them.
offer. They offer it in hotels. They have no
Yes.
kids, adults only resorts. They have adults only cruises. Like, why is this not a thing on airlines? That's all. So, I mean, people will pay the extra $50, and if they don't, they'll probably just sell them as regular seats anyway.
Yep. Do it.
Yeah. So I think it's a big deal. That's it for Big Deal or No Deal.
Sounds like it is a big deal.
That's it for Big Deal, No Deal. Thank you, producer Lindsay. As always, great job finding these crazy stories that only you can find. Coming up, though, we got Dealer's Choice. Beto Duran, Andy Kamenetsky. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in Jason Statham's head right now. I see the wheels moving. I have no idea what's coming up on Dealer's Choice on 710 ESPN.
Travis and
Sedano and Kap for your afternoon drive
How is that related?
on 710 ESPN.
Jam right here. Hollywood Nights. You know what that means? It means Sedano Kap is winding down. Fellas enjoying final few days of vacation before they come back for the grind. They're going to work for, I was told, 58 straight days. Oh, that's Mason. Sorry about that.
You mean who Cappy's ducking?
Yeah, Cappy's I can't wait for the Cappy to figure out what's going on, how he's going to apologize to Mashansky. Beto Duran, Andy Kamenetsky.
He's had a lot of time to think about it.
Great job, producer Laura. Great job, producer Lindsay. Getting us through this show as we're trying to figure out exactly how do we not mess it up too bad here on 710 ESPN. And right now it's time for Dealer's Choice. What you got?
Well, we were talking before about social media and how it can bring out the worst in people. And Michael Jackson's daughter, Paris, is responding to criticism that she did not publicly acknowledge what would have been her dad's 65th birthday. She's 25 years old. She was on Instagram. And apparently she was taking heat on social media because she did not celebrate her dad publicly. Quote, "So today's my dad's birthday, and back when he was alive, he used to hate anybody acknowledging his birthday, wishing him happy birthday, celebrating it, nothing like that. He didn't actually even want us to know when his birthday was because he didn't want us to throw a party or anything like that. That being said, social media is apparently how people express their love and affection these days, and if you don't wish someone a happy birthday via social media, it apparently means you don't love them, that you don't care about them." She said that she's received harsh pushback over this, people wishing her death, things like that, and said that they are basically measuring my love for my father based on what I post on Instagram. Seriously, social media has made us so much worse as a culture. I say this as somebody who is on social media, engages. You want to say I'm part of the problem to some degree? Sure, whatever. I don't want to be a hypocrite, but my God, we were so not meant to be as people connected to this many strangers to be able to interact with them loudly, often anonymously, with no consequences whatsoever. We as human beings are not wired for this. We're just not.
People just suck. And I agree with Michael Jackson because I'm one of those where I don't like making a big deal about my birthday, even though I'm a Leo and a lion and full of myself. But when it comes to like the social media posts, this year I did on Instagram because my niece posted me and asked her to repost it, and I'm like, and it was a cute picture of Step on Me and everything else, and that led to the floodgates of everybody saying, "Oh, happy birthday," which is nice. I appreciate everybody saying happy birthday, but no shocker here, I boycott birthdays. Everybody's birthday now, so I don't repost people's birthdays. I don't wish them a birthday on social media. If I have your number, which is not too many people, I'll text you happy birthday. But I've gotten, believe it or not, in the past, a couple like, "Hey, you didn't repost my tag of you on your birthday." I'm like, "Really, dude? You're like 45 already. Come on."
First of all, it's like, you're talking about your birthday. Someone tagging you for your birthday. It's like, you're asking me to do work on my birthday?
Yeah.
Like, this is my day. This ain't about you. It's about me.
First of all, all these like birthday week, birthday month, all that stuff, that's got to stop too.
Yes,
like,
it does.
You're old.
Yes,
just stop
it
that.
does.
But yeah, people suck. They're gonna go after her for no matter what. Like, first of all, she don't have a dad. Like, he passed away. Like, that's tough as it is, and a reminder. So,
I will say though, like, to her point, I know a lot of people do that. That's their thing. A lot of my siblings and friends back home will do like these Instagram collages or Facebook posts.
Yeah.
It's one thing to, like, you get the little reminder on Facebook and it's like, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday. Whenever I see this, I will usually take the time to just click on the little reminder and just be like, oh, happy birthday, so-and-so.
Yeah.
Hope you have a great day.
Sure.
That's fine.
It's fine. But like it's one thing, like, if you're talking about, say, Facebook friends that are like people that you actually know.
Yeah.
And like
real friends.
Right. Real friends. And
not work
old,
friends. Real
also
friends.
older because Facebook's
Right.
been around forever. So
And like, you don't wish them a happy birthday. It's not a federal crime or something like that, but you might feel bad in retrospect. Like, hey, I wish I'd reached out to my friend, wish them a happy birthday.
Like I told my son, don't wish me anything on social media. Text me.
Yep.
Sure.
Call
Sure.
me.
Like all
Right.
the people
Whatever.
who
Yep.
post.
Yep.
"Oh,
People do it for show.
Exactly.
And,
This
like,
is what I get into. So, Liz, in a lot of Latino culture, right? they'll do, oh, Happy Mother's Day. They write this long message about
And
Mother's
then
Day.
they post a picture of them and their mom from 10 years ago because they don't have a more recent one.
No.
They don't even call their mama.
Liz, how about this? The mom don't speak English. Like, why are you writing in English?
Right.
And then she doesn't see you. She doesn't. She don't have Instagram, and you're writing this long post about. You know what? Why don't you go tell your mom this, who you haven't spoken to in a couple of years? Who you haven't. I need to be quiet.
But this is like a
but it's true. It is like because for me, like the fact that they came at her, like Beto said, her dad's gone. And the fact that she knew her dad and knew that he wasn't someone that celebrated his birthday like that. So she's honoring him the way that he would want to be honored on his birthday.
Well, beyond that,
as my mom says, bring me flowers when I'm alive, not when I'm dead.
Yep.
Beyond that, all of these people, they don't actually know Michael Jackson.
Right.
Like they don't, they may have loved his music, they may have loved his art, whatever, but like they have no actual relationship. They may have a connection to him, but they don't actually have a relationship. She had an actual relationship. You're making this big of a deal, going at her this hard, again, like wishing her death over
crazy.
not properly, in their minds, properly acknowledging somebody that you don't actually know.
No.
And
didn't know.
And the thing is, like, I used to be
It ain't
someone.
your business.
Right. I used to be someone who, because you don't know, like, I'm lucky that my friends or my family does call me, text me, or does the extra stuff for my birthday. Not everybody has that, unfortunately. So I always wanted, that's why for my birthday, I'm like, whatever. But I always try to go extra for somebody else's birthday because I don't know.
I do if I like them.
You know what I mean? Like,
So I don't do it for anybody.
I get that, but for me, it's like
we're all grown up already.
We are.
We're like, you're in your 40s. Stop
Yes,
it.
if you need to know happy birthday, I'm going to text you or call you and tell you happy birthday.
I get
I
that.
need to make like the Instagram collage so everyone
I'm
else
not
can see
saying
it.
And
that
if you need a
should.
happy birthday text, get over it. You got bigger issues than just needing a happy
I feel
birthday
like
text.
you should probably at least send a happy birthday text.
No,
to,
if
like,
you're getting mad,
close,
if you're
your
getting
close
mad at
family.
somebody, if you're getting mad at somebody for not texting you your happy birthday, man, you got
No,
some
but I'm
bigger
not
issues.
saying someone, because I'm saying some people just don't have that love and aren't shown that love. I'm just saying for that, I'm lucky that I do. So when I was younger and like I was a little bit more on Facebook, I would be the person that's like, oh my God, happy birthday. Hope you had a great. Now I'm like, nah, bro, I'm too busy. I'm too old for all that. You know, like.
Exactly.
Look, I'm on Facebook, so like once a year, I end up getting the birthday wishes, and sometimes from people that I really haven't heard from in a while. And it's like, look, it's nice. Like, it's nice. It's flattering.
It makes you feel good.
Right. It feels good. But again, these are people that I actually know.
Have a circle Gria and you'll feel better.
These other people freaking out on Paris Jackson, they do not know Michael Jackson. They did not know Paris Jackson. Like, you're doing this. I don't care how much love you had for Michael Jackson. You're doing this on behalf of a stranger.
Yeah, why do you need to post? My thing is, again, like I have no problem with like the Facebook things, even with people I don't know, because I notice when people post things for me and it makes me feel good, even if I don't know them. But the whole like acknowledging somebody else that's not even going to see it, like to your mom or your grandma that's not on Instagram or whatever, like her dad's not going to see it.
And we know your mom don't like you anyways.
Well, right. Well, why does everyone need to see her wishing her dad happy birthday? Like, that's between her and her dad. She probably went to his grave. Who knows what she did?
You're the strongest man I know. Yeah, and then why did you give him so many gray hairs when you were 16? Why are you sneaking out stealing his car?
No, but I remember Kirk for Mother's Day. I think it was
Feels
Kirk.
like some projection there.
I'm projecting.
Said that
like
he didn't post his mom because she didn't like it. Like, people have asked me, why don't you share pictures of like your mom or your dad or your siblings for like all these
people
national?
ask you that?
And I'm like, I don't like to
Bob.
post. I don't like to post my family like that. They don't like it.
Right.
And if I do, if I do post like a picture of my niece because that's my goddaughter, I block her little face because I'm like, you don't. I mean, it's just. Because she tells me, she's 7, 8, and she has a phone, and she's like, I want to be on your Instagram. And I was like, no.
It's just
protect the kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just the weirdest thing. Like, it'd be one thing if they were upset at Paris Jackson because on her dad's birthday, she posted something negative about him. Like,
to not post something.
Right. They're
for them
mad
to
at
get
him.
mad.
They're mad at her because she didn't post about him at all. Like, that's the crime, was you just didn't post. It's not that she said something bad about him. She just didn't say anything about him.
So when are you back?
I am going to be on with Travis, I believe, tomorrow morning.
So we're going to do Ask Slee with you?
Ask AK, something like that.
Ask AK 10 to 1. You have your Taylor Swift songs ready to go?
You know what? My daughter right now is in a very big Taylor Swift phase, so
Okay.
I'm becoming quite familiar with the
All right,
catalog.
good. How'd you feel today's show went?
It was fun, man.
Yeah, it was good, right?
It was loose.
All right, it was good. All right. Okay. Austin Reeves, good Laker.
Very good Laker.
We got to get Laker talk in there somehow, some way with you.
Well, you can hear all the Laker talk you want. Locked on Lakers. Available anywhere you get podcasts 5 days a week, never behind a paywall. And for those who like to watch these type of shows, there is a YouTube component.
I love this
You should be
morning.
a subscriber, part of the 20,000 plus subscribers to the Locked on Lakers YouTube channel.
I love that this morning you tweeted like, "Oh, for those who want to."
I always say for the sickos who like to watch,
There is a YouTube component.
there is
yeah.
a YouTube
Where do you
component.
record this at?
Home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like
Hey,
that.
Case
Thanks
you
for
guys
letting me
didn't
know you don't
see-
watch.
Huh? What, Linz?
In case you guys didn't see, somebody in the circle just posted the story about the ref. This was like 14 minutes ago about the ref that
Eric Lewis.
resigned. Yes, to like post that story to be like, hey, just so you guys see this. Clearly, you were not listening to Big Deal or No Deal because we covered that one already, there, buddy.
And don't wish us a happy birthday either.
Just saying.
Ooh, yeah. So we covered a lot of ground today. We got degenerate golfer. We got degenerate llama. Degenerate drinker. We got all kinds of good stuff, though. Remember, though, the 710 ESPN Golf Tournament next Friday. Make sure you follow Morales' social media account because I want to see
He
what
is living his best life,
I
man.
want to see what new Sunday swagger he's going to have tomorrow, what he's going to have Friday, what he's going to have Saturday. So it's a lot of good times around here at the station. I need to go play some golf because I haven't played in a while because I have a busted shoulder. But I really got to figure out who I'm going to invite. And if I go Sunday to see Messi, if I harass my friend, you know I will.
Oh, God.
You know I will.
That's just twisted and cruel. man.
It's what I do. It's what I do.
It is what you do.
Laura, Lindsay, fantastic job, ladies. Thank you so much for helping me out. Andy, great job today. It
was fun
I will
week
be
with you,
back
man.
tomorrow with somebody. Sedano Kap, Beto, and Andy in on 710.